Frog Ride. Great, now I have to remind them to keep a tail on an alligator. Tokyo Disneyland isn't closing their Splash Mountain, but when Disney offered to tell them to use the animatronics for parts from the US version, they said, no thanks, we'll just do maintenance. Tony Baxter will be advising the team working on the Princess and the Frog Ride, and he'll be the one to tell Bob Chapek they can't put a mermaid in. You've read WDW News Today. Now it's time for WDW News Tonight.
Live and mostly from Orlando, Florida, this is WDW News Tonight with Tom Corliss and Nicholas Cicero. Tonight, the debut of the Wheel of IPs, Card Parks return, and the death of Splash Mountain. Now, here's your host, Tom Corliss.
Because apparently my audio is...
No, your audio's fine.
It's a little distant and echoey. I don't...
No, they did. The opening happened.
Depends on which chat they were looking at.
I didn't hear the opening.
No.
Well, I didn't hear like the first sentence.
Nothing's muted.
Well, I didn't hear tonight.
I didn't hear the first sentence.
Did you say tonight?
I said tonight.
Oh, we didn't hear it.
I didn't hear that.
Is that
It could have been a glitch. I don't know. Yeah, I heard the rest of them
I
all.
didn't hear the first sentence of the first joke.
Alligator's butt and a tail. I don't know.
I said
Nathan thinks everyone heard it.
I said Splash Mountain is closing for a Princess and the Frog Ride. Great, now I have to
Move your
remind them
mic.
to keep a tail on an alligator.
Yeah.
That was the joke.
Was good.
Yeah, we didn't hear all
That
that.
was good, yeah. You guys are great.
I'm not.
Can I overlay all of you? Am I allowed?
Please.
I'd love that.
Can we move his
Please,
mic up
it'd be
on his
nice.
shirt?
Actually, it'd be great.
Could you all easily be overlaid? Butters is the only person I like in this room. Right, Butters? Show Butters. No, Butters looked at me. Butters.
She's here.
Oh,
Hey, Butters.
that's it. That's the show. No more Tom.
Yes, thank you, Butters. Butters. Hello, I'm Tom Corliss, and welcome to me crying while staring at Splash Mountain things. That'd be great. Well, we're going to get started with...
They're still saying your microphone is not working. Would you like mine, Tom?
No,
just
his
need to
mic
move
is
it up,
fine.
maybe
I'm
on the
just saying
shirt.
what everyone on YouTube
But
is
the
saying.
people in the chat are saying they can't hear the show. I don't care about you in this room. I care about the people at home hearing the show. Move my mic
Move your
up.
mic up your shirt.
Just move
Yeah,
it
it's
up.
definitely on. It's just not.
Yeah.
Sure, give it to Stitch.
That's fine. We're gonna go back to Butters anyway.
Butters!
I'm going to do another button. I know all the women at home are very upset.
Boo! More cordless chest hair.
I call it the Briar Patch. Can't do that.
No, don't throw me down there.
You wish. Is it high enough now?
Yes, it's fine.
I don't care if you can hear me. The people at home.
All right,
Wait
YouTube
30
chat, let's hear
seconds
it.
to
Can we
find
hear
out.
Tom now.
Well, not now. He's
Too low or
drinking
not?
coffee.
I can hear him.
Yeah, he's not talking.
It's not fine.
Lauren, fix it. She's working on it.
I can hear you on YouTube from my phone.
You can hear me?
Yeah.
So is someone just
we
being
almost realize that people on the internet don't exactly know what's going on all the time. So it is working. I'm looking at the board. It is fine. People are picky.
And it wasn't a computer glitch on Monday morning.
Let's talk about Splash Mountain. This is going so well.
What happened to Splash Mountain?
Splash Mountain? Where's that?
I'm done. That's it. That's the show. Goodbye, everybody. Oh, I hate all of you. So today it was an... I hate this. We have to do a show. Today it was announced. Can you hear me? Today it was announced that... Oh, I can't imagine why we run over. That's right, Butters. Get comfortable. It's going to be a long one. So today it was announced that Splash Mountain at Walt Disney World and Disneyland is closing. This is real, by the way. This isn't a joke, what you're seeing now. I know every concept art we show you on the show now, you think I made up. And I'm starting to believe maybe I did at this point. But this is the concept art. They are actually going to make the U.S. Splash Mountain rides into a Princess and the Frog log flume ride. This is a real thing that's going to happen. Disney claims they were planning it long before the petition. They claim they've been working on it for a year and that they decided on this like last summer. And they decided to tell you 2 weeks after the petition. Yeah, that makes sense. And yeah, so this is what's happening. A log flume starring specifically, they've only mentioned Louis and Tiana. And they are not far along with this. They said today they haven't even digitally scanned the ride yet, which I think would be a first step. So we are probably still years away from this, and I mean years. But nonetheless, they have announced that Splash Mountain at some point is closing in both California and Florida, and will be this Princess and the Frog log flume ride.
Where did they all of a sudden find the dollars to do this, right? Like, I mean, they're crying that they can't finish certain
money
things.
when they want, right? So when there's
$1.
when there's a positive PR move to be made, there's money to spend. And then when there's not, like, we just push everything off into oblivion, right? Which is what they're like. They announced today that Tron and Runaway Railway will both be severely delayed because they will continue construction in phases. And what that essentially means is they'll do construction when they have to for the time being. So when things arrive, because you can't delay the arrival of set pieces and things coming from third-party contractors. That's essentially what that means. So it means none of that's going to be on time. But in the midst of that, in the midst of freezing and announcing that they're going to freeze several projects beyond that, they've decided that this is a thing they're going to go through with no strings attached, no delays. This is happening. So after, what, 31 years almost in California and 27, 8 here in Florida, Splash Mountain will be no more. And I have an illustrious panel with me, as you can tell by the Brady Bunch boxes. Joining me, Eric Morton in his brightest shirt. Axel's upset with his arms crossed.
Grumpy.
Yeah, Jessica Figueroa's there. God, no, she's upset too. No, you're very happy. That's why I brought you on.
I'm very happy.
Nathan Hartman, Nick Cicero, Eric Wolf, and Jason Diffendahl. And he apparently had the gum you weren't supposed to eat at the Willy Wonka factory. He's up to
Jason Beauregard.
Jason Beauregard. He's up to the blueberry pie.
I want it.
He's just really sad about Splash Mountain. He turned blue from
The
it.
problem is I've been at theme parks this whole past week, and my sunburn throws off the color correction.
Yeah, I want to set something straight first of all. 2 weeks ago, I think everyone was in agreement that something had to change on Splash Mountain. So the discussion tonight is not about whether or not something needed to be done. The discussion tonight was the right thing done. That's the discussion. Because we did that 2 weeks ago. We talked about, is Splash Mountain offensive? Should it be changed? Those kind of things. I want to focus tonight, because I think we have more than enough to talk about, the fact that they are putting a movie based on Louisiana, and I remind everyone again that there are no mountains in Louisiana.
There's
that
no
New Orleans is also not in the
muted?
Old West. It is
No,
neither of
you're
those.
there.
Mountains in Georgia.
Obviously, Disneyland, you know, Splash Mountain has always been ridiculously close to New Orleans Square and the Haunted Mansion, and I don't know that anyone has an argument. I don't even like that Splash Mountain. My only concern there is the America Sings animatronics, which of course have existed since the 70s and are a Mark Davis creation, and it's real sad to lose them. And they're not necessarily the thing that's been deemed offensive or the thing that anyone was upset about. But I think thematically, a lot of us are upset with the Florida decision, right? Is that where everybody's at?
Yeah, pretty much.
No,
I mean, Nathan, you can go to Universal Orlando if you just want IPs just slapped next to each other.
No, here's my thing. Here's my thing. I think, Jess, you're on board with this, right? Like, Song of the South takes place in the South. Like, it's friggin' Georgia. Like,
but one doesn't
there's
permit
no
the
difference.
other, right? Like,
This
I don't think
change
Splash
means
fit
more
either, but-
here.
What was it? You're low.
Yeah, I'm saying.
The chat's saying
Yeah.
you're low.
Me?
Yeah.
Well, what else is new? Come on. I have it.
Yeah,
all
she's
the way
always
up.
low.
I don't know. Is this better?
Don't worry, I'll go into fancy settings and make you louder somehow.
We'll give you an
I
overlay.
have it all the way up. I don't know. Is it?
Speak from the diaphragm.
So let me hear, before I scream at all of you, why you
This is
think this
special.
works. Why you think this works where it's going.
I think it might be
Works?
too early to say that it works or doesn't work. I feel like it probably needed to change. A lot of people were uncomfortable with it. I've gone on that ride before, and while it didn't make me necessarily uncomfortable, at least raised my eyebrow. Like, I'm kind of surprised this is still here. So I'm glad, especially for people that were uncomfortable by it, that they're doing something. I am a little uncomfortable with the idea that they sort of just automatically assume that we swing the door the other way. We're going to just shoehorn an IP in there that, for the sake of shoehorning this IP in there. I think Tiana might deserve an original attraction, you know, or like we've discussed, a restaurant or something like that. So to kind of just overlay an existing ride that many people consider offensive with this seems a little bit like a pat on the head and go on your way, and now this will all die down. I don't know. It rings a little disingenuous to me.
Yeah. Also, like, was the best choice today to be like, oh, we've been working on this. We've been, whoa, it's been
Yeah,
a year.
yeah.
We've been
Disney
doing this
does
for a year.
everything
No,
on
this isn't your
time.
idea. This is our idea. No.
Disney does.
No, you guys, no, it's a great idea. Yeah, we had it first. Like, that's my
It's
biggest
yeah,
issue.
it's weird.
Would it have just been, I almost think it would have been a better PR move for them to just say, we listened to what you said and we're going to do it. But instead, in classic Disney,
Yeah.
you know, we're artsy and creative and we come up with great things.
We thought of this.
This is our idea. You guys will love our idea. It's
Or
so
just wait-
different from yours.
Yeah, or just wait a
Thomas
year or 2
Kincaid
years or
drew
whatever.
our concept art. It's so different.
Or they started the petition, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh, there's some next level.
You know, I will tell you, in the years I have been around in this community, it has been talked about that Disney most definitely, at several points, floated ideas on forums, you know, and it's certainly been said. People always assumed, like with our stuff, when it was very early, that we were floating ideas around. But when we put stuff out early, it generally was already like greenlit and going. But there is a track record within the community of them testing the water with things. I don't think this is one of those moments. I don't believe they wanted that press in the midst of the Black Lives Matter movement, right? I don't think that was the thing they wanted. They did, however, want to put this announcement out today, so you forget that they canceled the reopening of Disneyland yesterday.
There you go.
Remember that.
So I'll kind of stand by what I said a couple of weeks ago, that we're probably better off with it not being themed to Splash Mountain. But do I necessarily think people are linking the ride itself to being racist? I don't think so. I don't think there was a real outcry for that. The movie, obviously, yes, but I don't think people really connected it. But nonetheless, it's the same. Like I said, I said this a couple of weeks ago. I said we're probably better off without the redhead, being sold into slavery on pirates. And I think we're better off without this. Now, are we better off with what replaced that? No, I know you're not going to agree with that, and I don't agree with that either. But so hopefully they do a good job replacing this.
Like, this art concerns me greatly.
yeah.
Can we talk about this? And the press release concerns me greatly either. Because
Yeah.
there is no mention of any other characters in this press release. It is only Louis and Tiana. And that means maybe we only have money for 2 animatronics, is what that means. I don't know. The only thing I can think of that would make me happy, honestly, what would make me happy is if literally you just have new scenes with Tiana and Lewis everywhere that the Brers were, and then you just keep all the other animals. I would love that. It won't make sense, but I'd be happy.
Brer Bear is like a perfect size to just.
Brer Bear's gonna get
Lewis.
reskinned as Lewis,
Like,
right?
it's
I
just
mean, like
easy.
that's just like we knew Pete the Prospector was gonna become Big Al was gonna become Pete the Prospector, right? It's all the same shape.
Yeah, it's just perfect there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have like.
All right, so here's my issue with this.
Go ahead.
Here goes.
Purple.
And there's a
Everybody.
couple things. Yes. Let me go before I turn into a blueberry. There's a couple of issues I have with this, and part of this was mentioned by several people on Twitter today, and that is that sure, Song of the South is a racist movie. I don't think anybody can argue about that. Are the characters racist?
Yes.
I don't
Yes.
know. Maybe they are. Well, their language is racist, but the characters themselves, like innately,
No,
their
but
soul,
their
no,
voices are
internally.
absolutely black stereotypes.
Oh.
of
Is
the
that
South.
there
absolutely.
racist
I agree.
in his soul?
I agree.
Yeah.
I don't know that the characters do racist things. They just sound racist.
That's still bad.
Oh, it's still
something that
bad.
we-
I agree.
It's
I
something
know.
that we said
Butters
last time.
is pissed. Butters like,
Butters is
just
very
turn the
upset.
show off.
Here's the other thing.
Just a bunch
that,
of white guys yelling about Splash Mountain.
Here's the other thing that was mentioned on Twitter today, and I think is a valid perspective, is that a lot of the stories of Brer Rabbit and Brer Bear and the group of them, those are African folklore. They're not racist stories. They're just told in a racist way. And so
It's written by a white
These might be the
writer.
worst points
You're not making this
made
better.
Like,
on
we need
any
to put
show
a
we've
stop
ever
to
produced,
this.
which
The people
we've
in the
produced
chat
a
don't
lot
have
of
enough time as
shows.
it is.
I mean,
What?
these are stories that were handed down orally from generation to generation.
Yes, and then they were stolen by a white writer in the middle of the
Right.
Confederacy.
That's what's the
Like,
problem. I agree. That's absolutely the problem.
and then
I
it was
think
made
it would
into
be
movie,
a-
it was made into a ride.
I think it would be a valuable thing to keep an authentic version of these African folklore stories in public consciousness, because it's a historical thing that we're going to lose, and Splash Mountain's not the
That's
right
fine.
way to do that. But I don't know. I think people lose a bit of their heritage when we completely get rid of things that are innocent stories because they've been essentially bastardized into a racist movie. That's my point.
I feel like now you're talking about the movie and not the ride, but
Well,
You mean the movie
not
it's
a fan
based
of the
on?
movie.
can't separate the
bottom line
movie
is
from the ride. That's the
thing that
problem.
they
was-
could easily separate the movie from the ride.
Yeah.
No one knows that
But-
the ride is connected to the movie.
Well, they
Part
would
of the
have
main
to. They would, but
problem.
they would have to redo the voices of all the characters.
And they could have. I think they very well could have. But I
They
think
could.
at this point, someone was like, we need to just wash our hands of this. And I don't even have a problem with that. My problem
Well, and that's
is the thematic
that was my
choice
point. That the characters aren't innately racist characters. They come from traditional African folklore. The stories are told in a racist way with racist voices. The stories themselves, the characters themselves, can be retained and the voices changed to tell the characters' stories in a way that's not racist. That could be done. It's obviously not the decision they made, but it could be done.
Here's the thing, and Nick brought up the redhead thing, so I'm going to go off on that as usual. There's a big difference.
Everyone sit back.
I think there is a large difference between 1967 and 1992. Those
Yeah.
are very different times, right? The fact that in 1992 those voices were recorded, and it was decided that was okay, is jarring.
Yeah.
Scary.
Yeah.
The fact that there was an auction scene of women in a pirate ride developed in 1967 is not jarring. I don't think, you know, I think it was still not, no one was offended still, I think, for many years after 67. I think there's likely people who in 1992 were offended by Splash Mountain. I think there's a difference there. I love Splash Mountain. I love those characters. I didn't grow up with the idea that they were racist in any way. I didn't see it, but that's not my experience. So, you know, I feel okay telling people that I love those characters because that's not how I see them. It's not how they are to me. That doesn't mean they shouldn't be removed because people are offended by them. Again, I will tell you again, my problem is not that they're getting rid of Splash Mountain. My problem is that they're shoehorning an IP in as an easy answer instead of thinking of something creative and interesting to do. We are.
I mean, but that's the least of the problems, though. The big problem was Splash Mountain. That was a big glaring problem in the middle of Frontierland.
This art form is what all of you do every time there's a topic like this. It is their job to come up with a thoughtful and meaningful way to fix problems, right? That's what Disney has done in the theme park industry since 1955, is to find creative ways to solve, you know, problems of whatever problems their guests are having. And so shoehorning in, well, we have one black-led movie, let's jam that in. We'll convince everyone we're not racist by having that one movie. And that's the one movie we'll use whenever we get in a jam like this.
They could do anything. They could create something new if they wanted to. I mean, I agree with Tom that
they did sit on the movie
there is
for
a
like
problem
10
with
years.
that.
I get that.
It's like y'all are on crazy pills. It's 2020. Disney doesn't do anything if they can't make money off of it. This it's the whole point.
But the question is,
Splash Mountain doesn't sell merch.
But it's funny because
like,
Princess and the Frog came out. Princess and the Frog came out 10 years ago. Are you telling me that they think they're going to make money from this overlay now, and they wouldn't in 2010?
Princess and the Frog doesn't even make any money.
It doesn't make money.
Like merch or anything like that.
I think
so for them to even make a ride.
It's the reason they did nothing with it in the beginning.
Came out.
Right.
When people who were 8 when it came out, they're 18 now. They can pay and come to the parks. I think that's part of it.
We need to get
Disney
has.
I'm done.
So,
Disney's basically profited.
coming from, like, especially the first time we did Splash Mountain, that was in Disneyland. Coming from Europe, like a lot of other tourists, we had no idea because first of all, the movie hasn't been out since the longest time. You come in, you do the ride, and everybody who's not American has no clue whatsoever what's going on. So that's the first thing.
Yeah.
My second thing is Disney coming out and saying like, oh, you know what? We've been thinking about doing that a year ago. Like, what was it that put you to it to start thinking about it a year ago? And don't go inventing anything, because if you don't like it, if you think it's racist, you don't bring out Park Pals, you don't bring out Funko,
you're right.
and you don't make money off of things that you think are racist.
Last year they had all the 30th anniversary merchandise.
So
that's
something idiotic, because if you can still get the people to pay for it and bring out merchandise, then you're in the wrong in the very first place.
Clearly, yeah, you're right. It's only when it fits them. So if they really actually thought people were offended years ago, then we wouldn't have had all the merchandise we've had in the last calendar year.
No, not at all.
We've had stuff this year released.
Yeah, there isn't any anymore. It's all bought.
It's all bought.
Yeah. That's a valid point.
Disney's been profiting and perpetuating white supremacy for centuries. Like, well, okay, maybe not centuries. I'm sorry, decades. I don't know. It feels like, I don't know, but like,
since before the company was founded.
Just get closer to your mic.
It has the.
We still can't hear you.
I'm like in it, bro. I'm like
closer.
Wow. I don't think that mic.
Here, I'll see if I can help a little more.
This is a family show.
There we go.
Oh.
Go ahead.
That's better.
So,
yeah,
you know, they've perpetuated this stuff for years, and they came to like this, like they hit a wall They realize we need to make a decision. Like Tom said, they are just deciding to shoehorn something to satisfy people. But at the same time,
this or
I
a
don't know.
Wrinkle
Like,
in Time. They had very few choices.
stop. No, but I don't know. Like it baffles me that it would baffle. Like, say if it just stops at this, I'd be still pretty pissed because they'd be like, well, our job is done. We are redoing this attraction, Princess and the Frog. Like Bob Chapek checks off the paper. Good.
No, the merchandise sales
exactly
aren't
what's
gonna
which isn't
happen.
the
Probably
case.
upset, too.
Of course, I'm really glad that like they have like actual Black women as Imagineers heading the program, like the project. But
What were they gonna do? Roll out a white guy? I mean, that wasn't gonna work, right?
well,
I mean,
that's what I'm kind of like.
Do that in the movie.
I get it that Bob Weiss and Tony Baxter, they had to sprinkle those in, but that's also kind of sad,
well, Tony, you have
like
to,
people
'cause
don't
Splash is
people
his
don't.
baby. No.
I know, but like people still seek that as like validity, to validate this move. It's like, oh, okay, we have the blessing of the white Imagineer, we're good. There's a lot of social cultural things to this, and generally, I'm really happy. I think Splash Mountain is just overrated and boring at this point. I'm excited to see Princess and the Frog.
Wow.
Yeah.
Animatronics are boring and overrated. Put in the
No.
screens,
As I said,
stickers,
No,
please.
that's
Tom,
what I'm
there's
just saying.
Screens,
no-
let's do it.
Because
There's
I love
no way you're getting
animatronics. I love-
screens. There's no way.
How much
There's
do
no
you
way.
want to
There's-
bet?
I mean,
Don't
Sure.
get wet. You
Nathan.
can't do
The
it.
question is, are we losing animatronics?
Yes.
If we're losing
I don't
animatronics,
think so.
then I'm going to be
We
mad.
are losing animatronics.
I don't care if
There's
they
no way we're
replace them with screens or not.
The dog
If there
with
are
the
less
cowboy hat is
animatronics in the
not
new
staying.
version, if
Although,
there
who
are
knows?
less
The ride
animatronics
doesn't
in
make
the new
sense to
version,
begin with. It's a mountain in Louisiana.
it's like,
We could have dogs singing
It's
crocodiles.
not a mountain, it's a
you
it's
know,
a tree
bring
now.
in the goose droids from Star Tours. Whatever we got, just throw it in.
The Newsboy will be available
Harold, the
from
old Harold, the Yeti is going to be in there.
the Spaceship Earth Newsboy will be available soon.
Paper newsboy, the newspaper.
But I don't get it how Disney can say that it has nothing to do with the whole thing that recently happened.
Yeah.
If they're gonna say like, now at the forefront, we're gonna put a Black female, which she's still very talented, but Disney's way of thinking is just a spoonful of sugar with the medicine, go down, and now you will
But it's
all
a start,
understand.
though. I don't know.
That's like not, it's not the right time to do so. And if they would have done it, and if it was the right time, they have to admit it and say like, there was something wrong, and we listened to the people.
No, but
and
they
that's
never
what we're
admit
doing.
they're wrong, and I know.
I would have loved that. Yeah.
We've had our
Yep.
experiences with this company, right? They never admit they're wrong, whether it's this situation, or you're trying to book a park pass, or you're telling people that they're going to close things they like. They don't.
Yeah.
They're not honest. They're never honest. Never going to be honest, right?
That's always the problem. If it's just like a reactionary thing, they're just like,
Yeah.
then there's no,
It is
you
reactionary,
strip
but
it
they
of the
couldn't even admit
context.
that. They couldn't admit
Yeah,
Right.
it could have been very easy for them
You
to
then
just
miss,
go Jess.
go for it.
No.
Oh, I'm just saying you miss a really important lesson when you strip it of context and you just like, nope, never happened.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Like I was gonna say, they could have just easily just brought out and showed us the concept art and just been like, this is what we're working on. But then they had to attach her, and they had to attach these Imagineers to the project, and it's like, you didn't have to do that right now. Like by doing that, like what you just said, by doing that, it's like it's showing them like, oh, like hey, see what we're doing?
We have
like,
black employees, I promise.
yeah, exactly.
But I wouldn't let that still, even though it's a really important thing, like moving forward, I want to see this keep happening, I want Imagineering to put out how many black people they have on the team, how many Hispanic people they have on the team.
There's not many, which is why
like,
they don't.
There's not
You ever
many.
seen
Every
those
time they
project
release
team
like a
pictures?
photo,
They're all white.
yeah, it's super white,
do you
and
want
just
that
no
for-
flavor.
Do you want it for the
But-
Imagineering teams, or do you want that
Well, really
to
for everything,
continue
but
throughout the rides that are still there? Because racist stereotypes, they go hand in hand. Next up, Jungle
Yeah.
Cruise. Next up,
That's fine, though. I don't know.
No,
Because
not small.
If there's anything full of stereotypes, it's freaking Small World.
That's true.
And it
Tiki
doesn't
rooms
even
go
matter
down.
what country you come from. That's stereotyping your country, whether you like it or not. Jungle Cruise, especially if we go on this swing, and although everybody is not okay with what's happening and what's happened, but some things will just always hurt more than the other. Just like it was a red hat that disappeared, people got mad. If they gonna change the Jungle Cruise, people will get mad.
Yeah.
Will it be for the better? Is there something wrong? Yes, of course, you can see that. Was the red hat wrong? In some kind of way, it was wrong. But does it need to change? Will that change what's happening in the world? Could Disney do other things to change what's happening?
There's a big difference between. There's a big difference between like stereotypes and representation, though. I do like this whole trend. If this is what this is, it's, you know, I want to see people represented in the parks and the attractions and stuff that look like me or represent my heritage. You know, this is kind of what this is about, you know. There's now an attraction that represents this whole culture, and people are going to really appreciate that. Like, it's really emotionally, it's like a whirlwind, because you're like, yes, finally, you know, like, I don't relate to, you know, a random bear. I want to relate to this hardworking girl.
Yeah, and it sucks, and like I said last time that we spoke about this on the show, it just sucks that Disney has not given the black community another person, another character, another movie.
Yeah. No, because
So-
the first one didn't succeed, and so because they only see dollar signs, it was
Correct.
like, well, not again.
So it sucks that, like, yeah, like the community is grabbing onto this property,
Yeah.
and it doesn't matter if it doesn't fit or this and that. It's just like, yeah, we want to be represented, and
Yeah.
you're not giving us something.
It's the
so
only one
we
there
want
is.
This.
Yeah.
It's the only
I
one.
want
Yeah.
it.
It doesn't make it the right choice, though, either. You could certainly have done a
Yes.
joint announcement. You certainly could have come up with something that made sense where it was going, and then also at the same time been like, here's also a print. Don't worry, we will also address the lack of inclusion in the parks, and here's a separate Princess and the Frog attraction or a Princess and the Frog restaurant, because you know it's a thing that's actually in the movie. It makes a lot of sense. You know, here are things that make sense for this movie or for this franchise.
Yeah.
To represent them in the parks, and here they are in a place that makes sense for them to be, not a mountain in Louisiana.
It's not a mountain
It's not
anymore.
going to be a mountain,
It's
though.
gonna be a
How is
tree.
it not a? Are they pushing it into the ground? Like what?
No, they're
Well,
being
you gotta-
set-
you gotta
it's
dig a
like
little
putting
deeper,
at
yeah.
On
like
top of a
levels.
mountain doesn't make it not a mountain. Do you understand that concept?
I
that
I
make
also
sense?
know that there is a very small railroad next door, and that railroad is far too small. That mining company seems to not be making any money, and there's a castle next
That is
door.
an idiotic.
So I'm not
point. That is
Thank you. It's a
sure.
It is. It is a stupid point. It's
I
a
disagree.
all of you want to throw away anything that matters in this realm. And you're going to end up with garbage. And you know what? I'll be in Tokyo having a good time, and you can have all this screen-based junk that no one cares
You
about.
have-
no one
you
puts
have
any
no
heart
proof it's
into.
screen-based.
Everything's a PR
You have no proof
move
it's gonna be
or a
mad.
money move, and nothing's for actual guest enjoyment. You can have all
I
of
disagree.
that, and I wish you the best with it.
something I
Bad time
really
to point out
appreciate
there's
about
no
this
mountains
new
in space.
attraction.
The moon has craters.
Thank you.
That is completely
Clearly a
different.
space station.
It's a different thing.
That's different.
It's
No,
a space station. There's no space station.
Hypothetical.
when have you ever
Here's
seen
a
space station
hypothetical,
like that?
and I want to hear everyone's opinion on this. They do this overlay. They do it cheaply, as Bob Chapek is wont to do. They rip out animatronics and they put screens in, and everyone thinks the ride is garbage.
Right.
What's going to happen?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Well, I don't know. It's not like it was any better
Everyone
before.
will clap and cheer as they put Coco over the Grand Fiesta Tour with the same effort.
Yeah, nothing.
We'll all clap and cheer and
I mean,
raise
people
the
aren't
Disney
gonna be
Company
pissed.
Clap.
for its creativity and masterfulness.
Are people are people going to be pissed that they took a ride that many people enjoyed because of its plethora of animatronics and show scenes, and they ripped all that out and turned it into garbage? Are people going to be pissed? No one's going to be pissed.
Of course people are going to be mad. What I don't understand is this desire to start. You're all
no, I know that. Line, but what I'm saying, Jessica, is that
the race is going to be bad. Like I just feel like there's so much of this, like it's already terrible, and then you go in and you have this self-fulfilling prophecy of like they moved a thing. How dare they?
3 years. It is not a self-fulfilling prophecy. If I'm handed garbage for 3 years, I'm going to expect garbage from you. That's
right,
the way
and that's my point, Jessica.
Up to Pandora,
is that
everything was fine.
I'm listening,
then you handed
Jason.
us Toy Story Land. Yeah, I'm going to expect cheap garbage from you.
Right.
Right. So my point, Jessica, is that people have an issue with the ride as it is. I get it. That's fine. I'm all for them changing it. If they change it and do it really cheaply, then aren't the people who wanted them to change it to begin with going to be pissed that they did a crappy job with it? Or are they going to be happy that at least it's changed? That's my question.
Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't. The people that want it to be changed, they would be happy to go on that ride with no characters whatsoever, just with some.
But would they?
It does not. It doesn't. This whole petition was never like, we don't like Splash Mountain, the ride. No, we don't like the story behind, we don't like the characters. That's why we want it to change. So, are they going to complain? Like, no, it's still a flume, right? You go down, you get wet, that's it, you turn, you go back home.
But you lose all the animatronics. If you lose all the animatronics,
well, no one
if
cares.
you lose all the
No one
animatronics,
cares about storytelling.
Half of those animatronics.
I think it depends on like the community that you're talking
irrelevant.
about.
It's all irrelevant. It's all just about Instagram photos now.
Like our community that's into animatronics, that's into all this, that's into wanting Disney to make things better and make things, actually make sense. Yeah, we're gonna be pissed.
Right.
But everyone else is.
we
gonna
want
be
a
pissed.
quality attraction.
Correct.
You're gonna
I
tell me
would love
Splash
to have
Mountain.
a quality attraction that's not racist. I would
Mountain
happily
hasn't been
give
a
up
quality
Splash Mountain.
attraction.
If it was a quality attraction.
I would
it's not
happily
racist,
give out
yes.
Splash Mountain to have a quality attraction that's not racist.
Splash Mountain has
Would
been
I
super
happily give up
dominant for,
Splash
like, the
Mountain
past 5
to have a
years.
garbage
A
attraction
tree
that's
with a
not
boat.
racist? That's the trade-off.
We now have the
They
That's my
desperately
concern.
need to
Splash Mountain.
Well, I
That
saw.
whole ride has needed an overhaul for years now.
Well, it has, because a lot of
It's
things
been
don't
on our
work.
maintenance list for how long? Like,
Yeah, so the answer
Absolutely.
is to put
It's-
screens,
you can't
'cause they're
tell me
easy
they
to
took a
fix and
beat
they're
like
cheap.
this
There you
work
go.
of
Exactly.
You don't have
Like,
you
my
have
point.
no proof that they're going to use screens.
So in
Until
the
you
chat,
do, you
I
can't use that as
Nathan,
a
I will
Let me show
bet
the
you
last 15
$1,000.
things they did. Let me show you Ant-Man
Nathan,
and the
I will
Wasp
bet you
Nano Battle.
$1,000.
Tell me it's how good it's
I
going
will
to
bet
turn
you
out.
$1,000 that we will have less animatronics after this overlay
You're gonna
than
get
there
two.
is right
You're
now
getting
in there.
one Tiana, and you're getting one
$1,000.
Lewis. Enjoy.
Okay,
I will
so
take
let's think
I
of
will
this
take a
in hy-
bet of there will only be animatronics. That's a bet I will win easy. If
Yeah.
the bet is
There will be what?
there's only going to be 2
There'll be only
animatronics in
2
a 10-minute ride.
animatronics.
New.
Oh well.
Ha!
I don't know.
I'm just saying there's
So,
going to be
but
less
let's-
than there are now. Just the sheer
but let's
number of
think about-
animatronics.
There has to be.
So then the
There's
problem
gonna
is
be
just
less.
so then the problem is just redoing the attraction. So otherwise, let's say like they didn't touch it, they just left it there for the
problem
next
isn't redoing
10,
the
20
attraction.
years.
The
They're gonna have to
problem is
redo
not
it anyway.
Coming up with something creative and sensible to put in the place of it.
What would have been creative and sensible?
A million other
put here.
Western-related things.
Like what?
Like the Western
What's
River
interesting now?
Expedition, Pecos Bill. I don't know, the Lone Ranger.
Pecos
Davey,
Bill.
all of these things.
Oh.
They sell as much merchandise as Princess and the Frog.
That's
I
the
think that's a
problem.
little.
See,
I think
my
that's a
little
little
issue.
cynical. I think that's a little.
My
cynical.
issue
I think
is
Princess and the
that-
Frog does
is
pretty
that-
good merch.
I wouldn't have mind a Zorro one, but still, that's all like super like lame.
My issue
No
is
one
that they
knows what
took
any of that
11
is.
years.
Super lame.
Why
I
did it take
know,
them
but-
11 years
Yes,
to come
we're
up
gonna
with an
go in
attraction
after the
based on a
movie and
Princess
just
and the
watch
Frog?
deliver fireworks up a waterfall, and then we're gonna come down the waterfall, and they're all gonna be on the same riverboat. The two figures on the same riverboat that once had 40 figures.
Fine.
Maybe we'll get to eat on the
Lone
log
Ranger
flume.
Space
Maybe it will
Mountain,
be a
whatever.
restaurant log flume. That would be fantastic.
I mean, here's the thing.
That's what's in Tokyo.
Number one, Ratatouille makes a bad ride. It makes a great restaurant because you know what? It's mostly about food. It's a crazy. I know it's a crazy concept, but movies about people opening restaurants probably should be restaurants. I know it's a nuts idea.
So in the chat of this
I don't mind an
afternoon's
attraction.
live, somebody wrote like, "Don't judge too early. We all did with the Hollywood Tower Hotel, and now everybody loves Mission Breakout."
But that was again still before the Chapek administration, right? Like, everything bad starts.
That
from
wasn't
Toy Story
cheapened
Land,
out.
right? That's the
I
time.
am scared it'll
That's
be
where the
cheap.
timeline skews, as Doc Brown would say. That's when we enter the darkest
Guardians was
timeline.
not a cheap overlay.
Don't you think that Disney
Guardians
now
really was not a
has-
cheap overlay.
No, it wasn't. They spent the money.
They spent a fair amount of money on that.
Don't you think Disney
So we need
now
Joe Rody on this project.
has
Oh,
given themselves the obligation to have like this representation in it, and they will not be getting away with one Tiana
I hope so.
animatronic?
I would love to eat my words.
I mean, they can't say like, "Oh yes, we're gonna represent a culture in this ride," and there you go. At the end, you're gonna see like Tiana going.
But in a world
That's it.
where 12 animatronics were cut from the Guardians roller coaster, how am I supposed to believe that you're going to spend that money here? Like, how am I supposed to believe?
Hey, they were cut from Spaceship Earth as well. We've seen that on the.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, look.
They might be like
the thing
siphoning money from other projects at this point.
Yeah, and concept art is free, basically, for Disney. They haven't
Especially
spent a
that
dime.
one.
Yeah. They haven't spent a dime yet, and they don't have
They just
to
bought a
for
Thomas Kincaid.
years. Yeah, so
Yo, Thomas.
so that's the thing is like we can talk about budgets and we can talk about budgets and stuff, but this isn't a budget that's going to be on their like fiscal radar for a while. So
Nothing's going to be on their
I think
fiscal
that-
radar. For
Yeah.
no,
in or out.
The big minus signs are
Right
on
now,
their
their
fiscal
entire
radar.
fiscal year is my 2 visits to Sanaa. Well, this quarter, Tom Corliss bought this much bread service. So you see we're on the upward trend. He did use Tables
they
in
always have-
Wonderland, though, so we did see a 20% decrease in guest spending.
I mean,
you eat
don't
enough
go
bread there
blaming
that they
Disney
already
and
have
budget
that like
if
line item. So.
don't go blaming Disney and budget if Dr. Facilier looks like the Phoenicians. That's all that I'm saying.
His Tommy Reed's flat. I mean,
Oh, we found some other animatronics. Like, bring them in.
all his weird spirit guys are going to be stickers. They're going to be friends with the sticky side.
Well,
Projecting,
he should be a projection.
Was
Like
Facilier.
we talked about it.
The
We
shadow.
talked about it earlier. Like if this is a continuation, he should be a spirit.
dead.
Like he's not going to be an animatronic.
He's going to be
Well,
a
he's on the other
projected
side.
ghost. That's how they're going to get away with it.
Yeah, so
Him
it's-
and the ghost of Ray, they're going to fight. Ghost fight on the screen.
Now I'm
It's the
excited. I'm
storyline.
very
You're gonna
excited.
follow-
Like a Spaceship Earth 08 finale, they're just going to board up the old ride and put screens over it. It's like the whole old ride is behind it. You could hear like the little bunny sweeping behind the screen.
Actually, I'm kind of curious for like a vote by hand. Like, if you would, who would say in this panel that they're excited? Like, you don't have to be like, you know.
I'm excited. I don't know why
I'm
everyone's like
excited to see
afraid
what
to
they
say that
do.
they're excited about
I'm
this project.
Movie, but it's not.
What's the
this isn't
stigma
the
with this
right fit.
project?
So
I'm excited
I don't
for
know what
any
it is,
new
honestly,
attraction.
like-
Like, I'm excited for any new attraction. The
But this
problem
is
is that
pushback
their
for
track
anything
record
else?
of late hasn't been great.
Sure.
It's like, who's
Okay,
excited
well-
for a new Disney movie? You're all excited,
If the
and
year
then
was 2009,
Atlantis comes
I might
out.
actually be excited.
Exactly. Because they're doing
It
it
was like done when the
to
movie
support
was
an
coming
IP
out.
that's
Sure.
right. It just came out. I can't.
They were
If this
fixing
was
a
on
bunch
the
of stuff in
if this was on the
So it
drawing
was okay
board
to be racist
for
'cause they
this
had
long,
to fix a bunch of other stuff in 2009.
They're
DCA was a
fixing
mess.
a bunch of stuff.
We'll be not racist later, guys. We gotta get this Malaburritos out of here.
They're fixing a bunch of stuff and possibly gutting a bunch of scenes from like Spaceship Earth soon, and there isn't nearly as much outrage, like emotional outrage.
There's emotional outrage
over
when
the
they
same
do that.
announcement.
When they got it.
there's going to be
There's-
emotional
there
outrage
is
when they
certainly-
do
I agree.
gut
Yeah, well-
Spaceship Earth.
But I
I
agree
wish
with
they'd
Jess.
take
I
the
think
whole
there is
Spaceship Earth budget and spend it on this project.
Well, I think there's a cultural anchor to this ride that is affecting people's feelings on it. Not even saying people in this
Because
panel,
it's a
but I'm just
great
saying
attraction. Of course,
It's
people are
not.
And that's-
attached to it.
yeah.
It's a great
Yeah.
attraction. If you expect us to not be attached to it?
no.
Wait,
I'm
are
just
you talking
saying that
about
I
that or
think
the
there's more,
negative?
like. I'm talking about both. I think that's the thing that's such a struggle for people is
Oh, well,
like
people shouldn't
Spaceship
be
Earth.
stuck to the fact that the ride isn't racist, because it is. You know,
Right.
I agree with people on that, but I think people are attached. Right, Tony Baxter and Walt Disney both said something effective. If you're going to remove something, whatever you replace with has to be better. And I don't
Right.
believe in them anymore. After Runaway Railway and Toy Story Land and Pixar Pier and Ant-Man and the Wasp Nano Battle and Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run and all of that, I don't believe in them anymore. I don't think they can do it with their management. I think only the couple of guys who are like, I'm going to go work for the OLC people because they let us do cool things. Those are the only people in that entire division that do anything of meaning anymore. The rest of them are so tied by budgets and creative shackles that are put on them that no one gets to do anything of value anymore. Everything is so overproduced.
It's all
budget
value
cut
engineered.
and junky and ordered through a third-party manufacturer that they just can't do anything right to save their lives at this point. That's where I am the last 3 years with them. And so the fact that they're going to go into another attraction that people love and is beloved and do an overlay, no, I don't have faith in them.
Yeah, I'm personally
But
just
it's gonna
tired
just
of
keep
the
happening.
budget cuts. It's like everything that you budget has always gotten a budget cut. It's like, why don't you just stop over budgeting for things?
Or
Like, it's just so
do
weird.
less things and spend money on the things you're actually doing.
Yeah, like it's just such a weird
Sure.
concept of
Instead
like,
of
oh,
instead of doing 50 things at Epcot, why don't you build 2 new things that people
Yeah,
want
like-
to see? How about that?
Yeah.
That's
And
the
get them
problem.
done at a decent schedule.
I don't know.
Yeah.
In this whole timeline of getting things done, we know that it will still be the old Splash Mountain when the parks reopen. Maybe not when Disneyland reopens, but at least when Walt Disney World reopens. Is it okay? And that's like just a question. Is it okay for Disney to keep the ride open? Because basically they are admitting, guys, this is racist. We're going to change it.
No, they're not though.
But
They
That's
haven't
the
said
whole
it.
point.
you'll
That's
be
the
still
thing.
That's
able
the
to
whole
ride
point.
it when the park open again. So
Yeah,
is
they've
that
said
okay? Shouldn't they
it's
say like,
more
guys, this is
inclusive,
wrong.
but
We're
they've not
closing
said
it
that
right
it's racist.
away.
Also,
We're making
am I
something
a bad
new.
person for wanting to go like ride it a bunch
No.
before it closes? Like, I
No.
don't understand.
That's
Actually, you
Yeah,
have an
I can
absolutely
respect that,
valid
that's fine.
point. But the problem is, if Disney admitted the reason that they're changing it is because it's a racist attraction, then they would have to shut it down. They would have to not reopen it.
Exactly.
But by saying, "Oh, we've been working on this for a year now, and it's just complete coincidence that we've announced it now, a week or two after all these protests have been happening related to racism." That's just a coincidence.
Yeah.
That's
Well, they'd also have to
that's
explain
why
they
they're
didn't
not admitting
do this
that
earlier.
that's the reason the announcement happened now.
So the people that are
Because if
happy
they
for the
admitted
cause
it was racist,
basically
Right.
have to see
If
that
they-
Disney is just being the biggest hypocrite around. Because
Absolutely.
if you would
Their
support the
PR
cause, you close the
Yeah.
ride, you put a wall with a gator on it saying, we're coming back soon. That's
Well, with
it.
the
Their
gator.
PR spin, their
With
PR
a
spin on
trumpet.
all
the
of
problem
this.
is not that they're a corporation.
I mean, they're a company. Why wouldn't they do
Here's the
that?
thing.
You know,
The
like,
problem is not that they're a corporation. You can be a big, mean, evil corporation. Ask Comcast. They're very good at it. They still run theme parks and people like it. But Disney, at the same time, while they're being evil and furloughing all their employees and not caring about their well-being and all of these things, at the same time, they'll tell you how much they care about their employees, how they have a rich history of creativity and innovation and all these things. And at the same time, they'll also slap a decal on a pier and tell you it's a new land. So that's the problem.
There's no one
Don't lie
arguing
to
that
my
Disney's, like,
face, right? I mean,
disingenuous.
that's the
At
least
the same time-
Comcast at no point
Right.
lies to your face, right? Just
No.
do what they do. Just do
no,
it.
it is what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
At the
Y'all
same
like
time,
trolls?
Disney
Here's
says
trolls.
there's no bugs
be
in
there
our
between
software,
12
there's
and
no
Like, yeah,
bugs
we're
in our
closing Twister. It's
website.
going to be Jimmy Fallon. Deal with it. I don't care.
Anyway, I'm really excited that they're gonna put Tiana in the form of a human being and a black woman instead of a frog for the most of the ride, like
Yeah,
they
let's
did
hope.
with the movie. Stop. No, I mean that's what
And
I'm
beignets?
basing that on the concept art, and the concept art is only they're saying the concept art
Well,
is just
there
Walt
isn't a
Disney
budget
World,
to do
so
a
it
frog
might.
in addition to a human.
Or
Only
don't
two
blame Disney that the
animatronics.
frog looks like a rabbit going.
Because it's like technically that Tiana's outside. Inside, she could be a frog the
know.
whole time.
I don't care what happens, honestly. Just
The
give me
concept
They
my
want
art
to
is
build the
goddamn
frog.
bear
They're
tail.
already the frog's
bear
already
tail.
in there.
Send, mail it
You
to
can buy
me.
it now.
I just want my bear tail. Just give it to me,
All right.
and I will walk away.
Mail the tail. Mail
Tom,
the
it's almost
tail.
past my bedtime. We gotta wrap this
Hashtag
up.
mail the
the
tail.
We gotta wrap this up, Tom. It's past my bedtime now.
Is
it 9 already?
The last point I want to make is I love The Princess and the Frog. I have fond memories of the movie. We were one of the first people to see it. We went to the Ziegfeld in New York. We bought very expensive tickets. We were the first people to see it. Loved the movie so much we bought like big framed sheet music signed by who's it signed by?
Randy Newman.
Randy Newman and Alan. I think Menken worked on the music too, and it's signed
Yes.
by
Yeah.
both of them. And it's hanging in my house in New York. I love them. It's a great memory.
It's a great
I have
movie. Better music than all of the music that
fantastic
Splash
music,
Mountain currently
a very
has.
underrated movie that should have financially done much better. I don't disagree with that. I disagree with the fact that it's being slapped into Frontierland. It doesn't belong there. It makes no sense.
okay with that.
It's a land with a mining company and singing bears, and it's all this.
So
old
why
rustic,
not a
old
giant
rustic
tree
West old rustic Western stuff and motifs, and then suddenly there's going to be a Louisiana bayou in between all of that? No, it doesn't
Why
work.
not? That
You
area-
can't
that
put
area
a
is
boat
super
up
lush
in a tree on
anyway.
top of a mountain. None of this makes any sense.
It's
I'm
not a
sorry.
mountain anymore.
It's a bad concept. I don't care
Then-
what the reasoning is. If you have to get rid of something because people are offended, come up with a creative way to do it. And if you're going to tell me that redhead replacement scene is good, there's something wrong with you. I'm not going to argue whether or not that scene should have gone, but you're going to tell me anyone on earth is ever going to buy a shirt with 10 for a hen or quit your clucking or any of that on it?
Quit your clock.
Just because you have to get rid of something is not a free pass to deliver people garbage. It's not a free
Right.
pass to give them something not creative and not your best work. That's the bottom line.
We talked about it on the live when we did the live today about the reaction. It's like, was this news for Disneyland? Since they were working on it for so long, apparently for a year, was this news for Disneyland? And then with everything happening, they're like,
just wrote
well,
it
you know
too.
what? Maybe we should just get rid of both of them and forget about it. You know?
Yeah.
Because yeah, like I agree, I'm
But it makes more
excited
sense
for
in
it, but I do
Disneyland.
agree it just doesn't fit for us. It fits for them. It just doesn't fit for us.
Yeah. I'm very sad about the America Sings them.
Whatever, bro. Just buy all the
company doesn't have a good history
animatronics.
of
Be done with it.
keeping its artifacts either. So,
Yeah.
very concerned.
They'll keep one, if anything.
They'll pick out like two they like, right?
Yeah.
And the rest will be
Yeah.
junked for parts.
For D23.
as usual.
Or will get stolen.
I'm gonna walk into the office and there's just gonna be like
Stop.
a goose.
Oh, I will buy as many as they
coming.
let me buy. Like that'll be our studio audience from now on. It's just
I don't see the buzz with stolen animatronics.
Yeah. Any other points anyone wants to?
I think it's okay. I think
I
in
have
the end,
one
it's okay
more.
to be sad. You know, like people. I don't
Thank you
want to
for
like
giving
push
me
people
the
to think
okay.
that they can't be sad. No, but
No.
it's true. Like I think some people feel like there's this odd feeling of like, well, I'm disappointed and I'm sad, and they think I hope that's okay culturally for me to be that way. It absolutely is. It's a ride that means a lot to a lot of people, and I think it's okay to acknowledge those feelings and treat people with respect towards those feelings. I don't think people like, oh, I'm really gonna miss Splash Mountain because of the racism. Like that's not why people liked it in the first place. So like it's totally fine for people to grieve, and you know that I just encourage that. Like if people can do that, then hopefully they will have grieved through that process and be more open to hopefully something good to come. We don't know, but hopefully.
I don't want to get this discussion open again, but one of my first memories in Disneyland Paris was the band playing Zippity Doo Dah. Can we all say that that's still a song that is like played a
That's all
lot
different bag of worms.
in the Disney community? Is that going to go
I
that
grew
same
up-
way?
Next week.
Yeah.
Next week.
Next week we'll spend an hour.
I
on
grew up
Zippity
on the
There you go.
show. All right.
I grew up on the sing-along song, like
Yeah.
sing-along VHS called Zippity Doo Dah that
Yep.
had like the full
Uh-huh.
clip from Song of the South, and I know all of the songs. They're great songs. I get it. I just don't get why everyone's digging in their heels. That's
Burn
it.
I
that
don't
VHS.
understand why. Here's the
we
thing.
will-
I'm not even mad at people who are excited that they're getting a Princess and the Frog ride. I'm mad at the people who are then like, I don't care that it doesn't fit there. That's all my problem. My problem is not that people are excited for a Princess and the Frog ride. It's that people are willing to accept it under any circumstance. That's really
Right.
my issue.
In the end, we'll always have the Splash Mountain rap, so that's always
Yes.
available for people.
Oh,
who
then
need that.
Zippity Doo Dah. You're losing that too, bro.
Splish splash.
All right, I have to do the news. Everyone get out of here.
All right, we need a commercial.
Time for the news at 10. No,
We need a
shut up.
commercial. All right, I'm going to bed.
The teleprompter's glitching now. Hold on. I have to restart the teleprompter. And now the news.
News.
Brought to you by this thing
at
that doesn't
10.
work. I'm going to do it from the paper. Now the
You're actually giving the news at 10.
We're
like
going back.
like
It's
a
gonna
real
be like
newscaster.
when those animatronics were made in '74 and people read you the news from a paper. Disney Parks announced in case you haven't heard, Disney Parks announced a retheming of Splash Mountain to the Princess and the Frog.
What?
In the wake of a petition to change the attraction, popular log flume ride themed to the controversial Song of the South film will be transformed, feature characters in a storyline based on the 2009 animated film The Princess and the Frog. No date or official name has been announced for the attraction makeover because, you know, they've only had 2 weeks to work on it. They do have some ideas, though. This is a WDWNT exclusive we have for you. We have the first. These are the concepts for the name of the attraction that they're working on. Let's take a look at what might be the name. Alligator. It's fast. It's a blast. It's a log ride. Alligator.
Alligator.
Beignet Falls. It's the water ride. It's sea related too. Albert Beignet. Dr. Albert Beignet.
Yes.
The backside of powdered sugar.
Princess and the Frog Mardi Gras Drift. Too fast, too frogginess.
Move that boat.
Driver, move
All right.
that log. Flumin' over Louisiana. Flumin' over Louisiana. Hello, I'll be your.
Have you been checking out chat? How's chat been?
Let's see, that is.
I think Wolf doesn't realize he's still on.
Oh yeah, have a nice. Frog flume. I don't know. I don't know what that frog's from. I don't know what this is connected.
That's adorable.
I have no idea. I actually
I
like
believe
this.
it's.
This is I don't know.
I believe the pronunciation is Frig Flume.
Frog flume.
I think it's-
Is Nathan,
it's
is,
one word,
Nathan
it's
here.
Frig Flume.
Is Jameson St. John here? I was thinking right on the front.
Frig Flume.
Frog Mountain. That's probably what it's actually going to be. Login Flume, starring Dr. John. You know?
I always thought Logenflume was Swedish, but Logenflumen.
Like
Or it's Jerry Lewis. I don't know. Either way. Logenflumen.
I love that idea.
Logenflume.
Wait a minute. Race through New Orleans with Princess Tiana. Oh, man. Princess and the Log.
That log is actually the one from Twin Peaks.
Is that Animal Crossing? I thought it was Animal Crossing. Why did you kill Ray? Oh my God. Why did you kill Ray, you bastards mountain?
But
He's
really,
a
why
star
did you?
now. He'll be projected on the wall. Louis the Alligator's Ripsaw Falls. No.
Yeah, talk about a water ride that needs maintenance.
How dare you? Mama Odie Secret Log Flume Facility. Tiana's Magical Creatures Log Flume Adventure. Watch out, that dragon fire has a bit of a kick. Right down the hill. It's gonna take you.
And that's all we got.
Take you all the way there. Going down the bayou in the middle of the American West. Yes. Cowboys, Indians, and trolleys. Both Disneyland and Walt Disney World intend on reopening with the current iteration of the ride to be closed at a later date for retheming after closing again due to a spike in COVID-19. Nope, too soon. It's too real. Move on. Despite the coincidental timing with the trending petitions to reskin the ride, Disney stated that the development on the backstory reportedly began last year, settling on concepts just last summer. Yeah, it beat out plans for a Toy Story audio animatronic marionette log flume. That was the original idea. It beat that one out. It was the winning concept. Would have made more sense. I hate to say it, but at least that's in the West. The next step for Imagineering will be to conduct digital scans of the ride layout at both parks. Bob Chapek will actually have to ride the attraction for this to be done because he is, in fact, a robot. He'll be scanning it. He's like, what ride are we reskinning? I don't even know. Which one is this? Is this a splash pad? I don't know what this is. Tony, the water play area? No. Tony Baxter will be serving as a creative advisor on the planning and design of the makeover, while Mark Davis will be laughing at him from heaven. That's what you get for killing my rides. You want to take my animatronics and make a log flume out of them? Well, now we're going to put them in the garbage. The Disney Parks blog also released some backstory on the project, all 2 weeks of it, as well as insight from the cast of The Princess and the Frog and Imagineer Sharita Carter. Quote, today we are thrilled to share with you a first glimpse of a project Imagineers have been working on since last year. It's good that you keep saying it. You got to establish the narrative, I find. People will believe it if you keep saying it. Splash Mountain at both Disneyland Park in California and Magic Kingdom in Florida will soon be completely reimagined. The theme is inspired by an all-time favorite animated Disney film, The Princess and the Frog. Of course, time began when Bob Iger became CEO of the Walt Disney Company. All time, of course, just the last decade. That's all of time. But we pick up the story after the final kiss and join Princess Tiana and Louis on a musical adventure featuring some of the powerful music from the film as they prepare for their first ever Mardi Gras performance. Tiana is a modern, courageous, and empowered woman who pursues her dreams and never loses sight of what's really important. And of course, this is when at the meeting, Bob Chapek stood up and yelled money. And they're like, no, Bob, this is not about that. He's like, okay. He went back to playing with his Kinects after that. The helicopter. It's a quote, it's a great story with a strong lead character set against the backdrop of New Orleans and the Louisiana Bayou. You know, the Old West. The voice of Princess Tiana and Tony Award-winning actress Anika Noni Rose shared, quote, it's It's really exciting to know that Princess Tiana's presence at both Disneyland and Magic Kingdom will be fully realized. The Imagineers are giving us the Princess and the Frog Mardi Gras celebration we've been waiting for, and I'm here for it. Well, it's good to hear that she's here for this, because she hasn't been for any of the voiceover work the park has needed the last 11 years for her character. She's never done any of it. The Disney Parks blog also said, quote, the approach to retheming or plussing attractions, as Walt Disney referred to it, remember him, we don't, begins with Imagineers asking the question, how can we build upon or elevate the experience and tell a fresh, relevant story? It's a continuous process that Imagineers are deeply passionate about. And then...
Well, then I get all excited.
Oh, did we break it? You broke it!
Yeah, apparently.
You killed my joke.
I can't make VMix play a thing that it won't want to play, I guess. That's weird.
Try
Sorry.
again.
We can certainly give it a shot.
Well, then I get all excited. I'm like Jojo, the idiot circus boy with a pretty new pet. The pet is my possible sale. Oh, my pretty little pet. I love you. So I stroke it, and I pet it, and I massage it. Yeah, I love it. I love my little naughty pet. You're naughty. And then I take my naughty pet, and I go... Oh! I killed it! I killed my sale!
Yep. That's what happens. Kill it. Great, that worked out. Shortly after the announcement of its imminent retheming, Splash Mountain fans and old white eBay resellers went to World of Disney to collect merchandise related to the attraction ahead of its closure. Guests quickly emptied racks of Brer Rabbit Disney Park Pals figures, and they may have finally found a use for these things. You could use them to hold your tissues while you cry about your childhood being erased. You could put that's the only thing that fits between their hands is a tissue. We found out. Yes. There's still also notepad sets, which feature various characters from the attraction. These are great to remind yourself of upcoming attraction closing dates. A lot of them. Splash Mountain, Country Bears, Hall of Presidents, they're all going. Move on now. After a slow and frustrating launch for many guests on Monday, the Disney Parks Pass system is now live, relatively, for Disney Resort guests to make theme park reservations ahead of the reopening. Guests trying to access the system on Monday were faced with unresponsive hold pages, countdowns that loaded to blank pages, and errors once they finally managed to get through to the system. In a statement to CBS News, Disney stated that the theme park reservation system had no such glitching errors, stating guests were simply trying to, quote, book before it was their turn. Yeah. Shop Disney then said, yeah, that's what's been happening to us. That's what it was. Yeah. Disney also said it was guests' fault that Galaxy's Edge didn't draw crowds, that that their Pizza Pizza was hot, they just didn't start eating it fast enough, and that they were never closing the Country Bear Jamboree, and all those things. Yeah, the Park Pass system, of course, will open annual pass holders tomorrow. So annual pass holders, of course, are dreading June 26th. Not because of the reservation system, just out of fear they'll announce another attraction overlay tomorrow. Your favorite is next. Remember that. Everyone got quiet. Everyone got actually scared. Like, what does he know? Which one's tomorrow? In an interview with Bob Weiss, the president of Walt Disney Imagineering, D23 ventured into what this announcement means for other projects on the horizon, and while projects like Avengers Campus are still moving along schedule, it seems Runaway Railway at Disneyland and Tron Lights Like a Run at the Magic Kingdom will be moving forward in quote-unquote stages in terms of completion, meaning they will likely miss their deadlines, including Walt Disney World's 50th for Tron, and Runaway Railway may have to be postponed from the 2022 expected opening date. Disney miss a deadline?
Disney does everything on time. Disney does everything on time. Disney does everything on time.
Undisclosed longer-term projects will be impacted, Disney said. Likely ones where it is undisclosed what the Mary Poppins attraction actually is. I don't know. It's a building. You go in it, things happen. Magic. Annual pass holders can expect to find a little pixie. That's where they should have put it. Everyone has no problem with where the ride's going to go. They put the Princess and the Frog ride in the UK pavilion. All right? No, who cares, right? Doesn't matter. Just put it there.
Jolly holiday with Tiana.
We'll put Coco in Italy. We'll put Pinocchio in Mexico. We'll just jumble them up. Fine. Annual pass holders. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Remember that. Annual pass holders can expect to find a little pixie dust in their mail this summer. Disney will be sending out exclusive annual pass holder magnets later this summer in order to continue the magic. The magnet will feature Uncle Remus. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. They planned this magnet a year ago. It was already planned.
Okay, well then that's
planned.
okay.
You can't do anything. It was a year ago.
No.
I already planned it. Chef Art Smith apologized earlier this week for appearing multiple times at his homecoming restaurant at Disney Springs without a mask. To be fair, the odds of catching COVID-19 from him are far less than getting salmonella from his restaurant. Even lower, the odds of getting a tip from him. Tri-state area. Tri-state area of New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut has instituted a reverse travel ban, declaring residents of Florida have to self-quarantine for 14 days when visiting. The state of Florida responded, asked them to take it back now, y'all. 2 hops this time. Reverse. You know.
Maybe we should have gone with the draw 4.
Originally, I had Florida responded by playing a wild draw 4. Remember when everyone told me that wasn't? Remember, Lauren, when you said that wasn't funny? Remember? Thanks.
That was a better one.
I hope you have a lot of tiny hot sauces in that purse.
You know, I don't think we're doing worst joke tonight just to be kind to you. So don't worry about it. We're going to leave that off today.
You're having a hard enough time hitting the buttons. So.
We'll give you a little something.
With the announcement of select dining locations reopening with the theme parks come mid-July, also comes an array of menu changes. The Rosencrown Dining Room has removed Cavassier from their lunch and dinner menu. They've removed it, yeah. I guess I know where the ladies' man won't be eating.
That is disgusting.
That is a specific joke.
Don't even start.
Look it up, kids.
That is disgusting. That was a ladies' man quote. I don't do a very good ladies' man voice.
All right. Be Our Guest restaurant located in New Fantasyland will be opening, but with slight modifications to its usual service. Upon reopening, the restaurant's fast casual breakfast and lunch will be discontinued. Now it'll be a table service lunch and dinner that'll be $62 for adults and $37 for children. Tax and gratuity are not included, and neither is food. Learned earlier this month that cast members will no longer have pin trading lanyards. They'll have pin boards. And the way this will work, the board remains behind the counter, and you ask to see it. And then the cast member will show you the board behind plexiglass. And if a pin you want to trade for is there, you tell the cast member what you want behind the plexiglass. They'll then put the pin on the counter for you to grab, and you keep your pin back behind you, coming off a board. The pin you give to the cast member then goes into a used pin bucket to be sanitized later. Now, for those unfamiliar with the system, it's very similar to what Tony's does with the used chicken parmesan. In the bucket.
It's so good.
Sanitize it later, and then it goes back on the board.
Behind the plexiglass, yeah. Oh, goodness.
We should just end the show there. It's not going to get any better than that.
No, it's not.
All right. An amazing Lego set, a Lego model of the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror has surfaced, created by Victor Leparc. I don't know if you've seen this. It's really cool. I want to buy this. I wish I could buy this. The incredibly detailed model features the Hollywood Tower Hotel in all its eerie glory, complete with its dense foliage around the building and paths guests travel to enter it. I would be more impressed, but now WDI does all their models out of Lego to keep Bob Chapek's interest. Elevator goes up and down. Whee! Great. Can we put Princess and the Frog in this? Tiana bought a 13-story restaurant, and you're invited to the top floor. But uh-oh, Ray got stuck in the buttons. I don't know. Did I'm an Imagineer now. I can do it. Ray got stuck in the buttons. And now it's malfunctioning. And we're gonna put a tree with a boat in it on top of the building. It will need a red light though, because we're gonna cross 199 feet. Red light on the tree. Yes. Why didn't they just put it in the tree of life? They're gonna put a tree on top. That's a good one. It was revealed back in 2019 that the Studio Tram Tour attraction located in the back of the Walt Disney Studios Park in Paris was set to be reimagined as Cars Route 66. The attraction will have guests joining statues of Lightning McQueen and Mater as they tour through the wonders of the iconic Route 66. Not even a joke, they're just going to be statues. Concept art released this week shows a Dynaco tower, oil pump, and a truck who looks surprisingly happy despite the cascading floods and huge cliff fire. Nathan, we have that concept art. We have that.
Yep.
There it is.
Nah.
Oh.
The Cars Route 66 attraction was originally scheduled to debut this summer, but they haven't had a chance to paint the truck blue yet. No one's been out there. That's the news. Nick, who brings us the news?
WDW News Tonight is brought to you by Wigs, the WDWNT Interglobe Society. Support WDWNT and get early and exclusive access to content that you won't find anywhere else, including exclusive WDW News Tonight and Park Center post shows each and every week, starting at just $2 a month. You can also get extra core bucks to spend in our online store to collect Disney Parks items from around the world and WDWNT exclusive swag. For more information, go to patreon.com/WDWNT or visit WDWNT.com and click the Patreon link. Join Wigs and help make this show happen through Patreon.
Thank you, Nick. All right, when we come back, we have Card Parks. We put up the phone number. People to call in and play. Call in now, 832-7-WDWNT7. That's 832-7-WDWNT7. Call now to play Card Parks. That's coming up when we come back.
We know that the past few months must not have been very magical. After all, Walt Disney World Resort has been closed. That's why we at Imagineering wanted to make sure that your return is everything you hoped it would be. You may have heard that amazing experiences such as character meet and greets, hotel check-in desks, and fireworks will all be removed. But that's to make way for new and exciting things you can experience at the parks. Our first edition is to include roaming droids in Galaxy's Edge, like we promised 6 years ago. Our characters may be able to catch a virus, but not a cold, heartless machine. We've also kept the Country Bears and the Tiki Room Birds right where they were, but reducing their operating hours and socially distancing the theater seats. This way, we ensure that every single show is as full as possible, which means better analytics and numbers. This will ensure those singing characters will be here for years to come. And we know how much you love self-run animatronic shows with outdated references, which is why we've updated the Carousel of Progress for a new generation. Here's a preview of the new dialogue.
Oh boy, hottest 4th of July we've had in years, especially with these masks on. What year is it? Oh, just the worst year in the darkest timeline. We're fighting something now called COVID-19. It's a pandemic. Things certainly are different now. Character breakfast prices are higher, and the characters don't even stop at your table. Buses have partitions in them so you don't even have to see other people, and stores text you when you can come shop. We really have complicated everything. Hey, Jimmy.
Yeah, Dad?
How are those masks coming?
Pretty good. I'm using patterns from California Adventure in 2001 for our new mask.
Whoa, scary.
You two are always reading poor DCA. Certainly better than current Hollywood studios.
We had to make our own masks since the ones we ordered from TeePublic never came.
Ugh. Ugh.
That's my daughter Patty trying to make park pass reservations on the Walt Disney World website. Didn't work then, doesn't work now. Consistent at least.
No, I have a 1-week reservation at Pop Century. What do you mean I have to pay to upgrade? Grand Floridian Villas? You also still haven't refunded our Halloween party tickets. Excuse me? Why, you no good?
Poor call center cast members. I wonder what people on the other side of the phone thought of me. Well, it's late. We gotta get going to our reservation at Beaches and Cream. They only have 4 items now, and apparently white bread for a patty melt is scarce during a pandemic. That's progress for you. Well, let's sing along with the Disney call center hold music. Maybe that'll cheer Patty up. Come on, everyone.
There's a great big beautiful tomorrow, shining at the end of every day. There's a great big beautiful tomorrow, and tomorrow's just a dream away.
Hi, I'm Tom Corliss. You might remember me as the founder of WDW News Today, host of this show. I think I've been on Park Center and News Today with WDW News Today. Recently, I launched a running list of maintenance issues at Walt Disney World. People thought I was crazy. People thought it was just pointless complaining. People also thought Brad Bear never had a tail. Well, now I'm ready to share my methods with you. I call it Core List. Do you have a dishwasher that's always backing up? Leaky pipes? Are your audio animatronics missing tails? Now with the power of Core List, I will make all of the issues with your home, and someone without acknowledging that I said anything will secretly fix your issues without any hype. And we promise results.
My refrigerator died, so I used Core List to call out its shortcomings, and within days it was fixed. And full of bear tails.
My husband promised to paint the house months ago, so I used Core List. And when I woke up the next day, my house was covered in bear tails.
I needed to take my dog to the vet to get fixed, but I could never find the time. But after using Core List once, my dog would never procreate again. And for some reason, it had a second tail.
It's all possible with the power of Core Lists. Have all your noticeable and unnoticeable problems replaced today without fail. Why would I say tail brayer? I mean there.
Core List services available to book at wdwnt.com. Does not work for those on a media list who are hashtag hosted.
Pressing Issues is the spin-off of the WDW News Today podcast segment as a long-form panel discussion in which some of the brightest minds of WDWNT analyze the biggest stories of the week and their impact on the Walt Disney Company, its parks, guests, and cast members. Join us every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, or afterward on the WDW News Today podcast feed.
Welcome back to WDW News Tonight. I know this week's almost over because the show's already been 8 hours long, but let's find out what you still might be able to watch this week on Disney+.
Yeah, before Hamilton, you can always watch.
Action! On Disney+. Art of Animation Foul. I don't know what's going on in the... Crush has... Like,
well, that broke my brain.
Crush has a scepter. Shaw. Not in the Marlin mood today. Sorry, everyone. All right. Let's play a game. And if you leave it there for a second, the cards will spin. There you go.
Oh, hold on a second.
That's
oh,
it.
Nick's
We're
not
off.
here for some reason.
Show's over. Nick,
Where'd
you're
Nick go?
doing this. Take it away.
I'm so sorry.
Nick, I went to you. You scared me. I thought you weren't there.
I did. I'm sorry. I disappeared for a little bit. Hi, everyone. Let's play Card Parks. Yeah, well, maybe.
He's a little bashful about it.
All this talking about splashing around. Come on. All right, let's play Card Parks. I'll explain the rules in a second, but let's get on our first two contestants. Mandy and Brian are going to be our first two contestants for Card Parks tonight. So let's bring them on. Let's say hello to Mandy. Good evening, Mandy.
Good evening. Hello?
Mandy, you there?
We hear her.
I am here.
Oh. Someone just blew out the speaker.
Ooh. Uh-oh. Why can't we hear her? Nathan, can you hear her through your headphones?
No, I cannot.
Something's up.
I cannot. The board looks a little different since the last time I looked at it, so I don't know.
I don't know if that helps you.
I know. But we don't know if she's going out over there.
Yeah.
They hear her on the stream.
Okay.
Oh, good.
That's
Okay,
all
good.
that counts. I could kind of hear her on the speaker. Let's also say hi to Brian. Hello, Brian.
Hey, Nick, how are you?
Oof. This is going to be rough. Well, no, I mean, we can't hear them, the guys in the studio. I think Jason's jumping in there to see what might be up. It's probably a routing thing.
Yeah, I think they did some adjustments to the
so,
board.
Jason, if you could look at that for me, I'd appreciate. Whoa!
Oh, I think that fixed it.
I don't know. Did it? Hi, Mandy.
Hello?
Oh yeah, there we go.
Hello?
Hi, Mandy. We can now hear you, so that's
Not
great.
as loud.
Great. All right. We're loud.
Well, I can hear an echo of myself.
Yeah, that's gonna happen. We're hearing echoes all night. We like to hear ourselves multiple times because we think we're really, really good at what we do. Brian, good evening, Brian.
Hey, guys, how are you?
Great, great. Thanks for calling in tonight. All right, so let me go over the rules of Card Parks, and this is for Eric and Shannon. If you're on hold to listen up to these rules. So Card Parks is played like the game Card Sharks, if you've ever seen that. We're gonna have a cards set up on a table for you, but we're gonna start with a question round. We're gonna ask you a question. We surveyed our WDWNT Twitter audience, and so we're gonna ask you a question like, say, out of 100 Twitter followers, how many prefer Tower of Terror over Rock and Roller Coaster? And you're gonna give me an answer, a percentage answer you think is the correct answer. Then the other person is going to guess if the actual answer is higher or lower. Whoever gets their guess correct will go on to play the cards on the table. And if we could show those cards on the table just to show what we're talking about here. So what you have to do is we'll flip over the first card for you, and then each of the next cards that comes up, you're going to have to guess if the next card is higher or lower. If you can stop at any time, stopping means that then you could come back to it later on and you don't have to start all the way back at the beginning if you get one wrong. If you get one wrong, either go back to the beginning or where you stopped on your previous turn. The person to get all 5 cards flipped over 2 out of 3 times is our game winner. All right, so we're going to start with Mandy. Mandy, what percentage out of 100 of our Twitter followers have tables and in Wonderland?
15%.
15%. Brian, do you believe the actual percentage is higher or lower than 15%?
I'm going to go a little higher.
All right, the actual percentage, 11%. So, Mandy, you're going to be playing the cards first with us here. Mandy, so you get your choice of decks of cards. Would you like to play with the Pirates of the Caribbean or the Mickey Not Fun Wheel Compass cards?
Compass.
All right, the Compass. All right. Eric, I believe those are your hands. Is that right? Give me a thumbs up if those are your hands. I'd recognize those hands. No,
I'm
is
sorry.
it?
Eric left.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, Maria's in.
Maria, yeah.
Yes,
I'm sorry.
I had to.
I'm sorry. All right, flip over the first card with the Mickey, the Compass. It is a king. Is the next card higher or lower, Mandy?
Lower.
Lower. Is it lower than a king?
Let's see. Oh.
Oh, it's not. It is a king. So we reset and go back to the beginning. Mandy, you go bust on that turn. So discard those 2 cards, Eric, and put 2 fresh cards face down there.
Eric's not playing,
And
though.
now,
It's Maria's helping you out.
oh, Maria. Yeah, I'm so sorry. Oh, it's going to keep happening. Brian, so you're going to get to play now since Mandy went bust there. You're going to be playing with our Pirates of the Caribbean cards. So, Maria, go flip over the first pirate card there.
Oh.
Oh, it's a king. It's a king. Brian, is your second card higher or lower than a king?
Lower.
Let's see, lower. Yeah.
Oh.
It is a 7. All right. So, Brian, you could stop here if you want, save your progress, or you could tell me if the next card is higher or lower.
Yeah, we'll freeze right there.
We'll freeze right here. So go ahead and mark that. Brian's going to freeze on that 7. And we're going to go back to the question round. Brian, this one is for you. Out of the 100 people we surveyed on Twitter, what percentage prefer not to spin on the Mad Tea Party?
I'm going to go with 35%.
35%. Mandy, do you believe that the actual number's higher or lower?
I'm going to say higher.
Higher. All right. Well, the actual percentage is 35%. Brian, you're right on the nose with that one. That means you get an extra 5 core bucks no matter what happens tonight. So good job there. And you get control of the cards. So we're starting on that 7 right there. So now you get the chance to either play or replace that 7. Swap it out. All right. So Eric, Maria, go ahead and swap that out. Yep, with the fresh card from the deck. I'm going to keep doing it. It's an 8. All right. Is the next card there higher or lower?
Let's go lower.
Lower than an 8. Let's see. Oh, an ace. Sorry about that, Brian. So all those cards go to the discard pile, and you can put out some fresh cards for Brian there. But since you went bust, Mandy, that gives you a shot here. So go ahead and flip over the first Mickey card for Mandy. It is an ace. Is the next card higher or lower?
Lower.
Let's see, lower. Oh, much lower. It's a 3. How about the next card? Do you want to freeze here or take a guess?
I'll take a guess of higher.
All right, let's see if it's higher than a 3. It's a queen. All right. Would you like to freeze here, or are you going to take your chances with the next one?
Take my chances with lower.
Lower. So Jack.
Ooh, it is.
All right. Here we go. The last card. Do you want to freeze here, or do you want to take a chance to win this round?
I'm going to take a chance and go lower.
Let's do it. Lower than a jack. If it's lower, you win this round. Oh, it's a jack! Oh! You don't win this round, you go bust. It can't. What? It can be the
You
same.
didn't give me a choice of the same. Yeah, you said, is it higher or lower?
Oh, well, there is no choice. In the game show rules, if it's the same card, it's neither higher nor lower. It's a bust.
Oh, it's just an automatic bust.
We didn't make
Automatic
the rules. We
bust.
ripped this game off.
Exactly. People much smarter than
Blame
us made
people
these
from the
rules.
That's what tonight's
All
game
right, well, sorry about that. So we're going to replace all those cards for you. We're going to go back to the question round. Mandy, this question is for you. What percentage of people have stayed in a pre-show room long enough to watch it loop?
29.
29%. Brian, is the actual number higher or lower than 29%?
I feel like they got to kick you out, so I got to go lower.
Lower than 29%. The actual number, believe it or not, 53%. I would not have guessed that at all. Yeah, I have no idea. Oh, maybe, right?
Technically, if you count those trailers.
So, Mandy, you win that one. So we're gonna let you start with your cards here. So flip over the first card for Mandy, and that's a jack. Higher or lower?
I'm gonna go with lower.
Let's see, lower.
No, it's not.
Nice. All right, it's a 7. Do you want to freeze here or continue on?
7.
Yeah, 7.
I'm gonna freeze.
Freeze on that 7. All right. So we go back to the questions now. This one's for Brian. Brian, what percentage of people prefer to stay off property?
Me after Splash Mountain.
Say, I'm going to go with 35 again.
35%. Mandy, is the actual number higher or lower?
Higher.
All right, let's see. Was the camera on me when I took? Is that why you were laughing? Well, I took
You
a sip
hear
of
what
coffee.
I said? I
Oh,
said
no.
me after Splash Mountain closes.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Mandy, you said lower, right?
I said higher.
Higher. The actual percentage is 9%, so it was lower. So, Brian, you're gonna control the cards here. So, let's take a look at those pirate cards, and flip over the first card for Brian. All right, it's a queen, the redhead. Higher or lower?
Yeah, I got to go lower.
All right, let's go lower. It's a 6. All right, freeze here or continue on?
No, I'm going to freeze.
You're going to freeze, all right. Both contestants freezing on that second card. We're going to go back to the questions. Mandy, this one is for you. What percentage of people have ever sung along with an attraction?
45.
45%. Brian, is the actual number higher or lower than 45%?
Got to be higher.
Gotta be higher. Gotta be. The actual percentage, 87%. Brian, you're going to retain control of the cards over here. So you left off with that 6. Do we want to play or replace?
We'll replace it.
All right. Going to replace that 6 with a 7. Yeah, 7. All right.
Hey,
higher,
Nick,
lower?
I got a quick question for you before.
Yep.
If like me or her get it wrong, it goes back to where you froze it, right? Shouldn't wipe out all of them.
To where you, yes, it goes back to where you froze it. So go ahead and keep that marker there. Actually, good point. Yep. So.
Okay, I'm gonna say lower.
All right, lower than a 7. Oh, it's a 7. All right. Oh,
that's amazing.
All right, so take away just
Someone
that 7.
played-
Keep them
someone
at that
clearly
second
played,
card there.
Texas Hold'em with this deck while we were away.
All right. So, Brian, this question is for you. What percentage of people have left a complaint at guest services?
This week.
I'm going to say 29.
29%. Mandy, is the actual number higher or lower?
Higher.
Higher than 29%? No, actually, it's just a hair lower, 25%. Yeah. So, Brian, you're going to control the cards again. You left off at that 7 there. Are we going to keep it or replace it?
Let's replace it. Yeah.
All right, replace the 7 with a king. All right.
Go lower.
Go lower. Jack.
Lower
Right.
again.
Play lower. It's a 2.
Oh man.
And higher.
That's gotta
Higher.
be it.
8. All right. All right. Round 1 goes to Brian. All right. So, congratulations there. All right. Time for round 2. Mandy, we're going to go over to you for this question since Brian had the last one. What percentage of people have ever played Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom?
50.
50%. All right. Brian, is the actual number higher or lower?
I'm going to say lower. Much lower.
34% is the actual number, so it is lower. I don't know if that's much lower. But Brian, the cards are yours once again. So if we could, and Mandy starts over at the beginning. Mandy, we have to take
Thank
away
you.
those
That's-
two.
I had a question about that.
No problem. Sorry,
appreciate
Mandy.
it, darling.
Maria's trying to help you out there.
I play blackjack.
Brian,
I don't play
do you
this.
Brian, do you want to stick with the pirate cards or play with the? We can let you switch if you want at this point.
Yeah, we'll roll with the pirates.
Roll with the pirates. All right. Flip over the first pirate card for Brian. It's a 2.
Gotta go higher.
Gotta go higher. It's an ace.
Gotta go lower.
Lower. It's a 7.
Yeah. Well, freeze it there.
Freeze it there. All right. Man, that's 7. All of you are getting 7s right there. All right. So we'll go back to the questions now. Brian, what percentage of our Twitter followers that responded have ever been to a D23 Expo?
I'm going to go with 15%.
15%. Mandy, higher or lower?
Higher?
Higher? Question mark. It's actually a little bit lower. 5%. Only 5% have ever been to a D23 Expo.
And the
So
number's
Brian,
too low if we asked them who liked it. So low we couldn't even show it. Not a real number.
So Brian, you're going to play the cards again. You left off in a good spot. Do you want to play or replace that 7?
Let's swap it up.
Swap it out?
Seems to be getting darker and darker in that card area the longer we play somehow. I don't know.
It's a 3.
Just the timeline.
Go higher.
It's higher. It's a queen for the win. Do you want to play it?
Let's go lower.
Let's go lower.
Yay!
To 4. All right. All right. Now, Tom, you didn't respond to me before. We do have 2 more contestants lined up. Are we?
We are sadly way over time. We're going to send them. Send them both 5 core bucks just for waiting. I feel bad. We'll send them both 5 core.
All right.
Sadly, we are way.
Well,
over
congratulations. Thank you, Mandy and Brian. Appreciate you playing Card Parks with us tonight. Great game.
Thank you.
Let them spin.
Splash Mountain is always- all right, we're taking a commercial break. We'll come back with more, including the debut of Wheel of IPs tonight.
Hello, I'm Tom Corliss, the most famous, or to some, infamous Disney Parks blogger of all time. And now I'm taking on the universe. Universal, that is. After 13 years of covering Walt Disney World, we've moved into the realm of Universal Parks, and people are excited and/or publicly hostile about it. I'm ready to share new and updated secrets in my class, Tom Corliss's new and improved guide to blogging, this weekend at the Sapphire Falls Resort Convention Center. In this fantastic course, you'll learn even more tips and tricks to expand your blogging business. Tips like how to fake concept art for website clicks, the best ways to film shows along with literally everyone else in the theater, how to pay your employees for their hard work, paying for your own theme park events instead of your mother and father paying for them and then writing them off as a loss, reuniting the entire creative team behind the greatest fireworks show of all time when the company who made money from the show won't, how to photograph food, how to eat the food, how to not just throw away the food, how to honestly review the food you ate, how to save an audio animatronic singing bear show, how to not steal audio animatronics, how to build a puppet theater, and much more. So come on down to Sapphire Falls, located literally up against I-4, just like the rest of the Universal Orlando Resort, and take my new class for a discounted membership price of just $77. In no time, you'll have your competition promoting petty tweets out of insecurity. I guarantee it.
Coming soon to Disney Plus, it's the story of a father and son who just wanted to get some fresh air.
Dad, can we go to Disney Springs? It's open.
A family that just wanted to grab a bite to eat and maybe not take their chances shopping online with Shop Disney with a lowercase s. But going out during a pandemic when your dad is a hypochondriac isn't easy, especially when you're a clownfish.
It's a pandemic, Nemo!
But Dad, I'm so bored and we'll follow all the rules.
We can go if you keep your mask on!
I promise.
A father who wants his son to be happy, even if he'll spend every moment of the trip in fear of everything.
Nemo, don't touch the railings, Nemo!
I won't. Can we go over there?
Not too far. And wash your fins, Nemo, even the lucky one.
A father who battled an entire ocean to find his son will now try to survive an outdoor mall full of Floridians.
Maskless hillbillies, Nemo! Swim away! Swim away! Oh, I miss when our biggest worry was jellyfish!
Marlin will wish he was back in the safety of a tank after this wild and hilarious adventure.
Dory, where's Nemo?
Fabio? He went to the boathouse.
It's Boathouse! Nemo! Nemo, where are you, son?
Disney Pixar's Socially Distancing Nemo, giving you something to watch between seasons of The Mandalorian on Disney+.
Did you have fun at Disney Springs, son?
Yeah, even if we didn't get anything we wanted because the eBay resellers got them. Oh look, they're testing the monorails. What color is that, Dad?
Coral!
4 panelists, 30 minutes, 1 week in Disney Parks news. This is Parks Center. On Parks Center, the panel and I cover the top 7... 7? Yeah, 7 Disney Parks stories of the past week. From attraction news to transportation scandals to new food and merchandise, we'll cover it all in 30 minutes or less. You can watch us stream live every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. at WDWNtunes.com, watch episodes on demand at youtube.com/WDWNT, or subscribe to the audio version of the show on your favorite podcast app.
WDW News Tonight. We are live on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube and WDWNtunes.com, wherever you're joining us. Thank you for joining us. Let's see what's coming up quickly in the next few weeks. Run out of time. The next few
Who's
weeks.
moving their microphone?
What happened?
Someone's moving their microphone, and it's just a big hustle and bustle.
Am I?
I don't know if your mic, if you're going to move it. You're fine, Tom. It wasn't you.
Oh, okay.
I'm just yelling at people before YouTube gets a chance. That's my job tonight.
Nemo! Stop touching your microphone, Nemo! July 2nd. What color mic are you on? Coral! July 2nd. We're back next week. It's a special 4th of July week show with the Patriotic Family Feud. Also the debut of Disney Carpool Karaoke. That's next week. On July 8th, we're on Wednesday as part of a 13-hour live show celebrating 13 years of WDWNT.com with WDWNT The Match Game, the first edition of the Disney Death Match from Eric Morton's old show. Bad WDWNT show ideas from the past and great moments in history, but just the Disney management parts. On July 16th, our season finale, we'll talk about the reopening of Walt Disney World, which will have happened by then. A brand new game show, Bad Orlando billboards, and as well the return, after a long time, of Cornac the Magnificent. That's what's coming up. What's coming up on our other programs this week? You've got pressing issues on Sundays. Don't forget Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. News Today with WDW News Today right here on YouTube. Cosmic Read Live Monday nights. Tuesdays you'll find Ride Rehab or Dream Finders, and eventually Materially Disney. We're going to be getting that out to you soon. Wednesday nights at 9, Park Center. Of course, Thursdays at 9, News Tonight, you're watching right now. Deep in the Plus gets released on Fridays, and every Saturday it's either WDWNT Play with Scott or Geekly Kingdom with our own Wolf over here. You were on this week, right?
Yes. This week would be Plays.
Play will be on.
Yeah.
And Nick, who brings us WDW News Tonight and all of our programming each and every week?
WDW News Tonight is brought to you by WDWNT, the app, the official mobile application of WDWNT.com. This app brings you all the latest Disney Parks news, WDWNT shows, including WDW News Tonight, streamed right to your mobile device. Park hours, videos, as well as the ability to listen and chat live on the go with this very show and many others. Download the app today for iOS, Android, and Amazon devices by searching for WDWNT or visit WDWNT.com for more info. WDWNT, the app, bringing the worldwide leader in Disney Parks news anywhere you want it.
Nick, I assume you have psychotic comments. I think we're going to hold them for next week.
Yeah, I mean, it's all one story. Yeah.
Oh, it's all one story. Yeah, no, we'll talk about it next week. It'll still be funny next week.
Sure.
But
Sure.
sorry.
Do you want to skip our commercial break as well? Do incorrect? Get into Wheel of IPs?
Yeah, sure. Everyone will
right.
be upset
Here's
that
your
we didn't
incorrect
play
fact.
Something has stopped us now, but it'll be okay. Also, Safari Jam. It's your chance to do your
classics.
dance at the Safari Jam.
Come on and slam.
All right.
Sure
And
is.
Coley Cattle Slam. What is the incorrect
Here's
fact
your incorrect
of the
fact.
week? The Disney Parks incorrect fact of the week. People who couldn't reserve a park pass reservation Monday probably thought it was a glitch, but in reality, they were likely trying to book it before it was there for. Oh God! Oh God! Oh God! Carl! Wait! Look at this! Oh God! What do we do? Do we tell them there's a glitch? No, lie to them. Okay. Come on and play. Yeah. All right, Wheel of IPs. Pleasant. So the way this was, again, we've been planning this segment for weeks. Jessica's just frozen up in the corner, I think. She's not actually there. She just looks concerned. She looks very concerned with what's happening.
She
She's on the panel,
does.
correct?
It's like, you guys don't get this Tiana thing.
So the way the Wheel of IPs work, which wheel do we spin first, by the way? I don't even know. Is the IP first, or is the IP is first?
So you spin the wheel of attractions first.
Wheel
and
of
then
attractions first.
And then you spin the wheel of IPs to see what gets shoehorned into that attraction.
Yeah, so we
You know, the
planned
way
this
Disney
weeks
does
ago,
it.
by the way, before this Princess and the Frog thing was announced, which is kind of really amazing and serendipitous and an actual coincidence, unlike, you know, Disney's announcement. So, yeah. Joining me, Eric Morton, Eric Wolf, the ghost of Jessica Figueroa, Nathan and Nick, Tyler Mann, who was nice enough to give us this segment. I don't think I asked, but thank you anyway.
No, you didn't.
And Allison's down there. The meanest person on staff, Allison Jones.
No.
What? Oh, I think
That's not true.
Yeah, no, for sure. People love me now. I have 5,000 Twitter followers. All right, let's spin the wheel.
And this is all completely random. The wheel is not weighted in any way.
Yes. I don't even know what's happening. Oh, no.
Oh, boy.
Space
Space
Mountain. So now we're going to
Mountain.
find out what IP we have to cram into Space Mountain.
Oh, boy.
Switch to the other wheel. Oh, no.
Oh, gosh.
Oh no!
I hate this.
That's
It's a
too
space
easy.
mission.
A space mission?
It's a space mission. They need
Yeah.
to save space.
Maybe this is
What are you, like a
superhero.
007 writer? You just decided suddenly the movie
Yeah.
series goes to space?
Yeah, why not?
Moonraker.
There's
Yeah, I
a
love
villain that
Moonraker.
wants
Why
to
not?
steal the moon. They want to shrink it down.
No, that's at
Right?
Universal.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
There was already
God.
what was like the Incredibles celebration thing they did in Tomorrowland?
They did.
There's already like a precedence for that.
Like a,
Yeah,
I mean,
like
it's not
the
a good
reason
one.
the reason there's a precedent is because they decided because the Incredibles is like that '60s aesthetic.
Yeah.
Tomorrowland's roughly that aesthetic too because Tomorrowland was built in the '70s. They kind of the same with the Contemporary Hotel. They all kind of fit together. I don't really know. What, space mission? What?
Maybe the Incredibles family is racing to a concert in space. And we have to get there.
Make it a stretch.
It's become super stretched.
I guess the space mission thing.
You
don't mind that.
just take the Fantastic Four and make it into the Incredible. Wait, they did that basically already.
What if we go to like we're going to Syndrome's lair? What if we retheme like the inside? Syndrome's lair. No more space.
He's got
windows.
Jack.
Like there's just like
still gotta be
different-
called-
Oh, we
Now-
don't even need to make it into space. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
is it
right.
not-
I'm sorry. This is the
And
first.
then-
This is the first.
You know, because we could build
Yeah.
a new interior in the mountain, right? We could put
That's true.
that weird robot thing. What is that? That droid?
As I drink from my
whatever droid?
Incredibles cup.
Omni droid,
Nice mug.
Oh yeah.
right?
That's
But let's talk about.
We just
well,
have
what
like
about the people?
barely,
We could put
like,
it-
we barely missed some claws. There's like a claw that goes over the track and stuff.
And the
The
ride
claw?
vehicles, like
Can we
this is
put a-
incredible. Like when she turns into a
Like,
boat, or she turns
Oh.
Please no.
rocket
She
ship.
turns herself
Please
into
God,
a rocket.
That's in
No,
the
that's
tunnel.
what happened,
That's in the
right?
tunnel. She's just stretched out. She's like, ugh.
I do like the idea though of her being like part of the track. So she like has to
like
fill
the-
a gap in the
The
track.
droid breaks the
Oh.
track and she like fills in to help us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just going to be a static thing, but I'd like that.
all static figures.
Can we put a tree on top of the mountain with a spaceship stuck into it?
You know the thing is like
This is going to be a joke until
weirdly
we see
enough,
that boat go on that mountain. Then it's not going to be funny.
weirdly enough, I feel like the static figures from the Incredicoaster would actually look better in the dark inside of Space Mountain than it would where it currently is. So you can even use some of those.
dark,
Probably.
you just
And
light,
Jack
like,
Jack laser
yeah.
effects.
Yeah,
Ooh,
it's like a
laser
blinking
effects.
light.
Yeah.
Fire.
turns
Let's
into
do
that
a fire
fire one,
effect.
yeah.
Jack just at the end, just a
Ooh.
flame.
It doesn't even have to be
like that,
space.
yeah.
The whole
We talked
building
about it.
could just be the
It's already just
layer.
in the layer. Like we could even make rooms. We could separate
Yeah.
certain sections of tracks into like rooms, right?
Oh, maybe you could have Dash, like maybe he's pushing your vehicle, and that's why you're going so fast.
Yeah, we'll just say it and play
True.
audio of it, and you believe it.
There's a speaker in the back of the
28 miles
car.
an hour.
I'm back here.
Yeah, just from the back, you just hear Dash. I got you.
You just hear like Flintstones like starting the car noise. Yeah, the
Well, the problem is the more light you put into this, and then don't make it space, and you make it a headquarters or whatever, a layer, the more you're going to see that track, and that track is just unpleasant.
You could see the
to really
track.
look
We
at
could
it
just
very
say it's like a
much.
transport system in his lair, right?
Well,
That's how
Nathan
we
means
have
that
the
it
whole,
feels like you're gonna get your head
There's right.
cut
There's
off.
a monorail on the
Yeah.
island, right? We could say it's like the monorail car. I don't know.
They set up. You have some decals right there to tell you to set it up, and you move to the next room with maybe some decals.
He's
Glow in the dark.
invited. He's invited people to come see him defeat the Incredibles.
Yeah.
I don't know. You're there to like be spectators.
Oh, dark.
I do like the
Okay.
idea of a villain open
It's
house.
dark.
And then the
then
idea
he
is that
loses
he
in
gets
the
you,
end.
and then he's like, "I'm going to torture you." And he's like, "What did you think was going to happen when you came to a villain open house?" Like that's kind of funny. I like
And then like at the end, the RCA dog just like it's like the copper tone ad.
back.
The RCA dog's like
Leads
pulling
the
down
way.
his pants.
I'm for it. I'm for it.
Yeah, I like this.
We did it. It's done. Next.
Michael Giacchino already does the Spaceman music.
Let's do the next.
That's
one.
true.
Pull it up. All right, you got to go to the attraction. It's been
So there's about 100
the
attractions
zebra
across all
stripe
4 of the
gum.
parks here.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Oh no.
Oh no.
This should be easy.
Well, spinners are easy, right? Let's find out what the IP is. This will take 2 seconds.
Yeah, make it a zipper.
This is gonna be like some nonsensical thing spinning around.
Oh.
Zootopia.
Oh, Sahara Square.
Okay.
Adventureland. Sahara
be
Square.
great.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What
I
would
don't
the
know what
vehicle
the hell
be?
the things are gonna be.
You
but
just have Gazelle just singing the song.
what do you
Just
ride?
different
on?
animals.
What is the vehicle?
Yeah, what are you riding against?
Different animals.
I do like the
Great.
idea of two gazelles just spitting on people. That's
No, we can't ride the
They're like
Zootopia
people
animals.
in this.
It's a little meter-made vehicle.
But why would it go into the sky?
Like a little golf cart?
Oh, they're in like
I don't agree with my
a
idea.
sky tram, right?
Yeah, but how would that
After
work? That's like the Skyliner, right? It's not attached to an arm.
Yeah.
It's almost like most spinners are garbage and don't make sense. Almost.
You've never been on
No.
Kang and Kodos, then. What's the best one?
This one's a little tricky.
I don't know. I don't know what to do.
It's like smack dab in the middle of the area.
But I just
like,
don't know
already
what the
you can't really
vehicle
do
would
much
be.
with it.
Yeah.
There's no birds, right, in Zootopia? There's none that I can
Not
think
that you
of.
can
There are no. They decided not to do birds.
That you
It was
could
a weird
ride.
Okay.
thing.
Was that a con?
Inside.
It was. We talked to them when we
I-
interviewed them back when I used to do media events. We interviewed the directors and we asked, like, why are there no birds? They're like, we just decided insects and birds complicated things. It was better to just leave them out.
Makes
Yeah.
sense.
Interesting.
The thing is, though,
just
is
spin-
what I care about is not the spinner ride. What I care about is the classic thing from Zootopia. I want to see the tiny spinner ride for the mice. That's right
That would
next
be
to the spinner.
Oh,
That would be really cute.
and then, oh,
Yeah.
I'd like
You're
that.
riding donuts. Just be that big donut.
In fact, if you could just make an entire Magic Kingdom for mice, I would go see what that would be like.
For the
I
little,
would
what
like
were
that.
they? They weren't mice
we
though,
can
right?
only
They were
retheme this, right?
moles or something.
Keep the rugs. It's the nudist colony. Keep the rugs. They're
What are the
doing
rules,
they're doing
Tyler? We can
flying
only
yoga.
retheme this?
Well, if we could just agree that it just does not work because it's totally fair.
That's
Some
not
stuff
the
doesn't
game,
work, you
though.
know.
The game is we have to figure this out.
There's no rules.
I say we're like inner tubes, and they're just painted like donuts.
we can keep the magic carpets and then just spin the wheel of IPs again.
Let's spin.
Like
the
see if we
wheel
can
of
figure out a
IPs
different
again.
IP
We
that would
already
fit
failed at this.
into
Okay.
Let's do it.
magic carpets.
This isn't going to be any better.
Could have had the Shakira song though.
I like this.
Done. Next.
I think we got it here.
We did it.
It worked. That's pretty good.
I'll play the end credits.
Okay. Can we do this again? Oh, oh, oh,
Oh,
again. Oh.
I say we just
Yeah, we
start
should
all
just
over.
spin for a new
No,
attraction.
go
Yeah,
ahead,
spin
do
a new
another one.
attraction.
Come on. Let's go start over.
New attraction.
Watch, we get Splash Mountain.
I hope so. I have some better ideas.
I hope so.
Turtle Talk with
Oh.
Rush.
Okay.
This could be good.
Talking,
Turtle Talk
sort
with
of.
Marlin.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Wash your
Fine, you know
fins.
we're on here.
You can't stop shitting on the floor. Oh my God! I got it.
Wow.
Oh, this is easy. We'll create a new sea character who's created a device that can talk to fish. And
Yes.
like, we'll talk to all different
Well,
kinds
Mary
of fish.
O'Shea.
Like some like Admiral Mackerel or something. I don't know. I don't know. Dr. Albert Fishgill. I don't know.
Mackerel was good.
And he created a
Maybe
fish
there's like a-
device. We rethemed the whole pavilion. We're at some crazy sea member built a base in the bottom of the ocean to better learn about oceanography, right?
Yeah.
I never knew I wanted
I
this
like it.
until just now.
Can we just
Yeah.
do the
It'd
whole
be fantastic.
seas like that? The whole.
It's
take
the whole thing. No,
yeah.
we're taking.
Yeah.
I'm
Not
taking
just-
the
not just
building.
little- yeah, you can
Yeah.
take the whole thing.
Yeah.
I mean, if anything deserves the living seas, it's probably sea.
We bring back
So-
hydrolators.
You can call it Sea Base.
Underwater bar.
You could just call it Sea Base. SEA.
Oh,
Yeah.
you turn one of those pods into a bar.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I do want to
Yeah.
drink in there. That
Like
would
a,
be lovely.
like a sea lab, but Disney themed.
The C member can
be
be
like
like,
That's kind of what it was.
an octopus or something.
A little steampunky.
I like it.
Mm.
Like
I'm
a
on
pet
board
squid.
with
That's so
I
good.
can live with that.
Anyone got anything better?
No.
No,
I never
that's so
knew
good.
I wanted to take it.
I love
great.
this.
All right, let's attractions.
Maybe Disney should do this more often.
Look at the vehicle.
With the
Oh, another
spinner.
spinner.
Oh man.
But a high spinner. That's different.
Oh, I hope it lands on Toy Story.
That's easy.
Oh, that will just
You're in
spinning around on Alice in Wonderland
Tomorrowland, though.
Okay, you're already
Tomorrowland,
spinning around when you watch
yeah.
that movie.
You do a spinner, but it's based off of the second live action Alice in Wonderland.
What is that?
Oh,
yeah,
the
the
time
time
travel
dude.
one.
Oh, the time guy?
Yeah,
His name is Time.
Cooking class,
Time
though.
guy.
It's just time.
Yeah. Time dude.
You do it with him.
Sasha
It's just
Baron
like little
Cohen, yes.
clocks. You're in
Yeah.
a clock.
Yeah,
You're
you can
Yeah.
spin around
Yeah.
the clocks, I
That
guess.
kind of works.
You just gotta stylize it
Years of a
right.
clock.
That
This
it's
is-
very subtle.
Now I know how Imagineers feel because this is definitely how the Princess and the Frog ride happened. They were like, yeah, I guess so.
The Princess and the Frog
That's where the
Girl.
wheel landed. We don't have a choice.
Except we can
Nothing to do
respin
with
the
public
wheel.
pressure.
They were just stuck with it.
We spun a wheel
can't
a
respin
year
it.
ago. A year ago. It was last summer. We had a bunch of Mike's Hard Lemonades, and we spun the wheel. Tony Baxter was there, so it's fine.
A bunch of Mike's hard lemon.
It's a crazy
I
day at
smell a
Imagineering. You know?
commercial.
All right, go on. Let's do another one. Gotta do a couple more of these. Let's not get a spinner.
Yeah, right.
Please, no spinner.
Triceratops spin. Come on.
100 rides
Oh,
on 50
Peter
spinner.
Pan.
Peter Pan's
Okay.
right.
Ah.
All right.
Fantasyland.
Fantasyland. There's a lot of things that fit Fantasyland.
Big Hero 6.
But not that.
But not that.
So you're flying over San Francisco.
Yeah.
You're on
Yeah, on Baymax.
On Baymax,
Right, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Yeah.
Hero just made a flying boat for some reason.
Why would he make a boat?
I don't know.
live in,
Every
like,
ride
this
needs an
high-tech
excuse for you
He's
to
making
be
flying
on
boats?
some kind of vehicle.
Why does he have a
He
flying
made it.
boat?
He made like.
But
Well,
here's the
you're on one of
problem.
the
If,
nanotechs.
I don't know.
The boat is made
yeah,
out of
the problem
nanotech.
is if you
Yeah.
Is this just
if
so they
you're
can just paint the
on
boat like black?
Just black.
This is
Easier?
basically so they
'Cause,
can
like,
take
why
the
would there be
line
multiple
for Peter Pan's
Baymax?
flight and cut it in half? That's what this would do. I'm okay with that.
we need the restrooms back.
Yeah.
Tangled's not enough. I mean, I see that opening scene. I see going over the city. I see that. I can see like kind of weaving in and out and seeing the different their different friends. I'm sorry, I'm not very good at Big Hero 6.
Honey lemon.
Honey,
Go
lemon,
wasabi.
and wasabi.
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 Yeah, you could mix those in.
Yeah.
There's more of them. I don't know the rest.
There's a bunch of fight scenes. No, that was it.
The whole
Fred.
queue, of course.
Oh,
is
yeah.
No one remembers Fred.
Fred, yeah.
Yeah, Fred. He was in the costume.
It was called Fredzilla until it was like illegal to use the name Godzilla, and then they cut that.
Oh.
Oh. Didn't know
It's
that.
true. It should just be a Godzilla ride.
That's a good ride.
That'd be great. It'll just make it Godzilla.
There we go.
We did that on Ride Rehab. We did it on the most recent one.
Living with the
Oh.
Fun.
Is there anything
Come on,
on
give me
the wheel?
Wall-E.
Oh my God! Land on Song of the South. Oh my God! Oh,
Monsters Inc.
Monsters Inc.
I don't know.
We didn't see a city.
Huh?
We never see the country in Monsters
In
Inc.
Monsters Inc., yeah.
What do they eat?
I don't know.
What do they eat?
It turns
What do
out.
monsters and monsters
It turns out tomatoes are more powerful than laughter.
You go through a lot of doors on that ride.
Welcome to
Yeah.
Monsters Incorporated. Oh, I like that.
We learned
I
that
think you do. I think
the-
you go through doors
the
to different
screams
lands.
of farmers are strong.
Monster farmers.
These through all the different jobs other
Mike
than
and Sully burst out of that
scarers.
house. Like by the restaurant.
We're learning how they farm this
That
for
would
the
be
city on
terrifying.
tilapia.
The power of tilapia.
Screams.
My nephew Shrimp Wazowski.
Oh.
Melon was. I look like a melon. Oh God. Oh.
They eat sushi though, right?
It's a terrible
I'm trying to think what they eat that.
That tomato where it came from also help me.
My name is Rose, and this is my brother Mary. Like, yeah.
Oh God. The behind the screams tour.
Oh, that's so good.
Crop floor.
On the tables, instead of it mixing the fake stuff, it's
Monsters
mixing
make
it's
crop
like scream
floor.
canisters being shaken around.
Wait, what's the plant from Harry Potter that screams?
The mandrake.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just combine Harry Potter in there as well.
That's it. That's all you
Too
need.
many IPs. All right, let's do one more.
Not enough.
One more for the road.
No spinners. Big bucks.
No whammies. No whammies.
No
whammies.
whammies.
Spinner, we spin again. No whammies.
Whammies.
Oh,
Navi
I know what's
River.
gonna happen. There's no way this is gonna work. Whatever it is.
Song of the South, Song of the South. Oh my God!
Well,
I don't.
I hate to break it to you, but I hate to break what the
Well,
shaman's
my
gonna
mother
have to
can
be.
finally ride Splash Mountain. Now.
Oh my gosh.
There's no drop.
Everyone's going to
The most
think
advanced-
this up.
No.
The
What
most
if,
advanced
no
Uncle
brares,
Remus
right?
animatronic of all
No
time.
brares. We just change out the like animal vignettes, right? So you just see instead of the viper
like a
wolf at
Pandora
first, it's just
rabbit.
like the porcupine drumming. No, the porcupine drumming has to be the new shaman of song at the end.
No, that's
Zippity, doo-da, doo-da.
Courtney in the chat says, Sivako, how do you do?
You know this has to be called. You know this has to be called. It's got to be called Shaman of the
Rise to
South,
the
right?
challenge.
Like that's the ride. It's called Shaman of the South.
Yeah.
Cow taxi. Cow to you, and you count it back.
Please don't send me to Satuli.
Oh my God! Please don't send me to the Valley of Moara. God.
Oh.
Oh, what are the names of the plant? Oh my God! I can't think of the name of the big plant now.
Oh.
Why am I blanking on it?
Penguin
It's
Project
really-
said, Satuli.
been a long night.
Oh, the Flasca reticula, whatever it is. Flasca reclinata.
Flasca
Don't throw me into that there, Flasca reclinata. There's like a viper wolf biting the back of Bear Fox and pulling him into the water. I don't know. Let's do one more. I don't want to end on this bad one. I don't want to end on that.
Not a spitter, not a spitter.
It's going to be a spinner because I've chanced fate. The Tomorrowland Speedway. All right, I'm on board with this.
This is bad as a spinner.
Okay.
I'm on board with this so far.
Can we
No.
spin again?
No, you gotta do it again.
No,
We just did Monsters, Inc.
but this is a good one.
Monsters Inc.
I
can't be in
apologize.
both.
Oh my
I'm not doing
gosh.
Monsters. No, Monsters was good. What if it's like
What
Mike
are we
has his
doing?
car? They show lots of cars. What if
Yeah.
they're all like little?
Oh yeah,
monster-themed
Mike's
cars?
new car.
And you drive through like a little monstropolis.
Yeah.
There's, like,
Okay.
You have to
billboards
scream
and
to make
little
the car go.
buildings, and you pass the
That would
factory
be
and
cute.
stuff.
Yep.
There's
Little sushi
a
place.
microphone in the car to power it. You have to scream.
Oh yeah,
Oh my
Harry,
gosh,
how's
you just,
it?
you just gotta
the whole
scream the
time.
whole
There
time.
Car to drive it.
Has a little pipe. And it's just
That's kind of how I drive now. All right,
Why
let's
have
do,
you been gone so long? It's got the little screen that pops up in the car.
you're late for work. Let's do one. This was stupid. Do another one.
This is fun.
A drive-through Monstropolis would be cute.
There we go. Oh no. Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. Oh no.
We're getting too many themed rides.
Would you stop saying
How in the world?
Broken.
He's just gonna keep saying until we get what we want.
Give me more ideas.
No, we're on this
All
now.
right.
Wait, what was that? What was
So
the
they
ride?
go to like a mining planet, right?
Yeah, and Star-Lord has to go and seek of some treasure that they're mining out of this planet. So we get on his little
rocket blows it up.
Yeah, get on a little rocket
Yeah,
or something.
you get blown
I don't
up,
know.
which sends it out of the mountain at the end, right?
Yeah. That's just rocket like.
And then they're all dancing in a
Now
cottage
listen
at the
here.
end.
We're gonna put you in swinging cars, and you
music.
gotta try and meet up with Mantis.
I am
You know, that ride sort of has like a post-credit sequence with the cabin and the witch and everything, because it's sort of after the main ride.
Oh, baby Groot dancing, yeah. We just
Yeah.
put the big spaceship at the end. They're all just in the Milano.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you come into.
I like
you
that.
can, like,
It's also sponsored by Pepperidge Farm, so we could sell people.
Sell Milanos on the way out.
I'd be okay with that.
I don't like this guy. All right, come on, we gotta do. I want a good one to end on. Come on.
Strange cookie you're selling.
We might be here a
It
while.
smells like Milanos as you're going through. I'm okay with that as
I'm very
well.
for that.
We need like a generic ride.
It's playing. It's working on the coal
again.
mine.
We gotta.
Right?
We gotta
I mean,
work on
that's-
this reel for next time.
What's going on?
All right, rise
Oh.
to resistance. Okay.
Okay.
I don't think Star Wars is on here.
Oh,
no.
Oh, that's fantastic.
What did it say?
The Simpsons.
Mm.
Oh gosh.
You're at.
I would just.
You're at the nuclear power plant.
Yeah, totally.
Oh,
And if the alarm
I would
starts
love
to
to
go
have
off,
this. I want to sit on the couch. I want the couch to be the ride vehicle, and we kind of start with the opening sequence. We get on the couch, and
What
then
if
the
the
couch
first
takes us
pre-show's
through
in the
like
house?
journey.
We just put the first
Yeah.
pre-show in the house, so the first. That whole left side
do
of the
you
queue
think?
is just a really big house.
Yeah.
You just walk all through their house, and then the ship could be the car, right? We put everybody in
That's a
Homer's
little
car
big.
to go with him to work,
Oh yeah.
and then you're at the new. What happens at the nuclear power plant, though?
Somebody pulled.
I just realized.
yeah, they spill a duck
Bring your
beer
family
on
to
a
work
console.
day.
Bring your
Bring
family.
your family to
yeah.
work day.
Ah.
And then Bart and
I,
Lisa can just mess up something.
I love the idea of coming up to where Kylo is currently on the bridge, and that just being Smithers and
Mr.
like,
Burns.
Oh yeah.
Mr. Burns. Yeah.
Well, like a nuclear
very good.
rod, like
Excellent.
burning its way down through the roof, like instead of a
Yeah.
lightsaber.
Oh, yeah.
It's definitely a
radioactive
power.
rod.
It's definitely a power plant failure. You'd shoot off
Yeah.
in a pod at the end away from the power plant, and then it explodes.
Well, I think it explodes and pushes you out. I
Yeah.
think, like,
Yeah, that's what I was
Well,
thinking.
you
Sabi's
land
like the
back
end.
in the house.
The end is like
Right,
the
you land
wreckage
back.
of the power plant, right? It's what's left of it.
Mm.
yeah.
It's like the end of the Universal ride. You just crash through the house.
There, we did it.
This sounds like a universal.
We'll do a
ride.
couple more of these on the post show. We'll do a couple more of these on the post show tonight. How about
Yeah.
that? The Wigs
This is
members
good.
stick
This is
around.
fun.
All right, let's end this show. And remember, kids, you can't run from trouble. Ain't no place that far. Good night, everybody.
Good night.